All right, 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. Welcome aboard the Postgame show. Along with Terry Ford, I'm Jay Phillips. Thank you so much for being on board with us. Jordan Kay of the State Paper will join us coming up a little bit later on. Get his take on what's going on around Carolina football. Coordinators have spoken, all three of them, Joe D., Mike Shula, and Clayton White, each of them expressing an understanding of struggles, problems, by and large, most of it fixable. Clayton, he said, was especially, he said his defense was especially disappointed Saturday night, that they know they did not play up to their standards. Mostly, he said, he felt like missed tackles were...
Yeah, 10 of them.
Yeah.
If you look at Pro Football Focus, 10 missed
just
tackles.
not being in the right position, And, I know a lot of you on the surface still really angry about Saturday. I think a lot of it is the opponent and then the margin of victory that Vanderbilt had over South Carolina. Today we'll start to take a look. Will Helms, who is terrific with his analytics, Terry and I were talking about this during our show meeting earlier today. Will has a really solid breakdown. Now, it's not meant to have you go, oh, never mind.
Everything's okay, right?
But it does illustrate a couple of things that I know we and others have discussed, that perhaps, and I go back to, on the surface, it looks worse. But, we talked about this on Monday. We got into it more detail from Ryan Brewer's perspective yesterday. The offense on Saturday, before Lenoris went down, was very effective. In fact, Will made the point to say it was basically the most effective quarter of football South Carolina's had since Shane Beamer took over.
I mean...
And maybe going back farther than that.
The metric of success rate really kicked in about 10 years ago, basically, Jay. And in the 10 years of this metric called success rate, that was before Lenoris went down. Well, no, not before. The first quarter was done. The first quarter was the most effective quarter regarding success rate offensively ever for South Carolina since this metric has been started in 2014. The success rate, the best quarter regarding success rate in that Tennessee game when South Carolina rolled the Vols was 63. I don't think Spencer Rattler threw an incompletion the whole game. 63%, I think, was the highest quarter of success rate. So that first quarter on Saturday night, according to this metric, was better than any quarter of that game.
And it's crazy to think about from the sense that, and you say it goes back to the 2014 season. That 2014 season was quite literally, for a lot of offensive numbers at this school, a record-setting year. And yet there wasn't one. Now, again, that doesn't mean so again, okay, it's all fine. One of the things, though, that we talked about is that, look, you can't use it as an excuse, but the offense was moving the ball. And the interception, it leaves a sour taste. By the way, another thing that Will pointed out, that was Lenoris' first interception in 75 attempts.
Yeah.
So,
first pick of the year. The thing about this that's interesting, Jay, is for as well as they moved the ball success-wise in that metric, here's the flip side. They are awful at converting drives. Yeah. They're one of the worst teams in America when it comes to converting drives. Yeah. They got
finishing, right? Finishing.
Yeah, finishing drives.
Yeah.
They got to the Vandy 40 6 times.
Right.
And scored 7 points. Vandy got there 5 times.
And that was the first time.
Yeah, the first time.
The first time.
Vandy got there 5 times and scored 24.
All right.
Because remember, the other touchdown run was a 44-yard gallop.
Just outside that line.
So you got to the 40 more than your opponent, but you only scored 7. You outgained your opponent. Mm-hmm. You averaged more yards per play than your opponent. There were so many offensive numbers South Carolina did better than Vandy, but the most important stat, they didn't.
Right.
Scoreboard stat.
Right.
At the end of the day, that what matters. All the rest of this stuff is right. What matters is the scoreboard. South Carolina's not finishing drives. And so far in the red zone, they haven't done well either. And really, that's where, as we circle back to this, Jay, when you have a quarterback who can run and you have to play 11-on-11 football, if you're a defense, usually you are better than average in the red zone because you can use that quarterback's legs to really harass a defense inside the 20 when everything gets scrunched, right?
Well, we talked about this yesterday, and like I say, I think we saw it beginning to take shape. I think we saw this offense feeling better about itself. And then Lenoris goes down, the team deflates to some degree, and we don't get to see the rest of what may have been tweaked because they're not making wholesale changes. And like we talked about too, and Ryan made a great point, and I noticed this myself on Sunday, as I know Wes and Chris talked about it, and others, Preston and Elijah and Jen, everybody, wherever you might find it. When you watch it again, you realize, man, that play was open. Mm-hmm. That guy was open. Well, you missed that guy. Oh, you missed that block right there, but the play call was good. It's not as it's easy in this sport. Not for this team this year. It's easy in this sport to go, man, what the hell's that guy calling?
You know why? Because it didn't work.
Yeah.
And it's everything, Jay, right? When your offense is struggling like this, is it the offensive coordinator? Sure. Is the play calling? Why not? Execution? Absolutely. There's so many things involved in this that when it's going like this, it's not just as simple as, well, play calls. Right. No, there's execution in this. There's so many things where players have to, like, for an example, you talk about Baugh. Baugh's had a nice year. But guess what? He blew the assignment on the blitzing linebacker, and the blitzing linebacker knocked Sellers out of the game.
Right.
The moments, it seems like the moments, Jay, they don't execute, bites them in the tail. Like we were talking about the Braves earlier this year. We said every time they do one little thing wrong, right, the other team jumps on it, and all of a sudden it's an 8-run inning. That's what it feels like with South Carolina when they'll move the ball, right? 2, 3, 4 first downs, and then boom, something happens, and it's 2nd and 25,000, and all of a sudden you're not scoring.
Yeah, it just seems to compound on itself instantly. By the way, my Braves have won 4 straight.
So, aren't they mathematically eliminated like 3 months ago?
No.
That's okay. My rules have been mathematically eliminated.
They're not mathematically eliminated. Not yet.
Oh,
I know that day is coming.
That's all right.
You know who else is about to be eliminated from playoff? Well, maybe not eliminated, but you know who's really going in the tank?
Mm-hmm.
The New York Metropolitans.
I can tell you're really sad about that.
They stink.
Man, it's so Mets. Isn't it so Mets? It's so Mets.
Mets and Jets, man.
Remember that? What was that, 3-4 years ago where all they had to do was like basically show up and win a game or two down the stretch, and they totally soiled themselves and choked away out of the playoffs?
And they spend money, like more than the GDP of some countries.
Mm-hmm.
And they still
the Mets.
Yeah, so anyway, come back.
Anyway.
I could do that all day.
I should have done. I should have opened that door.
I know,
to the point,
you did. Just saying.
The point is, it seems like whenever there is a mistake or a blown assignment or a misread, like for an example, Lenore Sellers, first interception in 75 throws, worst possible time for it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, and Will brought this up in the piece, and you and I, and Preston and I were joking about it on Monday morning. You know how many nose tackles actually catch that bleeping thing when it's thrown to them?
Yeah, one of 5 or less.
Will gave the number. It's ridiculous how
let me
they
go
catch
find
it.
that.
It's in the bottom of the post.
I'll find it.
So again, when a mistake is made, it seems like the other team capitalizes on that mistake, or South Carolina does something to shoot itself in 1 foot or both feet, and the drive that had promise gets screwed up. And that's just where it's not just one fault. It's just the fault splatters everywhere is what I'm saying.
Interior defensive linemen in all of major college football last year had a total of 21 interceptions.
How many games do you think were played in all of major college football?
If you do that, I don't even know what that number is.
My head just exploded.
Yeah.
And this guy makes that play on that throw.
Right.
Typically, it hits him in the gut, and it bounces off, and it falls down, and we all make the joke, that's why he's not a wide receiver. No, not this time.
So, I again, none of this, whether we're saying it, Will Helms is publishing it on Gamecock Central or anything else, is meant to have you go, oh, well, my bad. Things are fine.
Mm-mm.
And they just had a bad night.
No.
But it is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Because they did have a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
And you did lose the team leader and the best player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanderbilt did come in here with tremendous enthusiasm.
to beat you.
Yeah.
With bad intentions.
Yeah. So a lot of those things, and it was so in that respect, bad night. But you weren't as bad as it looked until you fell off a cliff.
And I
know that's you're like, well, Jay, they fell off a cliff. I know.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But it's a nice drive. You're like, maybe back in the old days before anybody knew where the Grand Canyon was, if you had a car, like, oh, this is pretty. Whoops.
But it was pretty before.
Yeah,
right?
but it was great.
And I think that's the point. And we talked about this Monday, and, because we said Monday, it's like, look, before Sellers got hurt, this was a game. And South Carolina was moving the ball, and Vanderbilt could not stop them. And then how they stopped them was 16 couldn't come back in because he got knocked out.
Right.
Then this thing turned to the ugliness that it became. It was a football game before the injury. Mm-hmm. And I know no one cares, and I get it, or no one wants to talk about it.
Lost by 24. We get it.
Or no one really wants to truly believe it and thinks, South Carolina paid you and I money to say that, which I wish they would. Hey, we are open to being bribed. I'll speak for you, sir.
Thanks.
But no, it just was the truth. It was a 14-7 game. Should have been 14-14. And South Carolina had the ball. Sellers completed another pass and then got knocked out of the game while completing that pass.
Yeah.
And then this game got turned massively, disgustingly, horridly ugly.
Well, we'll get into some coach sound for you, more from Shane, more from some of the players. Luke Doty speaking yesterday as well in terms of the role that he had to play on Saturday. I'll leave you with something to think about because I don't have anything to say about it because there is nothing to confirm anything. But overnight, this line. Let me say this much. Let me back up a little bit. When I'm using lines for games these days, spreads, I'm using the ESPN bet line because it's just I'm getting so much stuff there anyway. And now that they have that service,
might as well.
I just use it. If you want to go to MGM or wherever, or FanDuel, you can find whichever line you want to find, and usually they're not too far apart from one another. Anyway, so this line Sunday around lunchtime opened at 11.5. Instantly went up to 13.5.
Yeah.
Stayed there all day. Monday, stayed there all day yesterday, 13.5. Just so that's where it was. I wake up this morning, 10.5. Overnight, the line shifts 3 points towards South Carolina.
Does that mean anything?
It means something.
It means something.
But we don't know what.
That's a big movement.
Now, the speculation, and I'll say this much, the speculation, and Pete Thamel, who works for ESPN, not that he works for the sports book, Pete Thamel is saying that the word is that Lenore Sellers is going to play. Now, that's a national college football reporter putting that out. But a 3-point swing on a Tuesday to a Wednesday, that's because something's
up. And look,
that's not a whole bunch of money flowing because I'll decide to bet on that game.
And we'll hear more tonight, obviously, when the first availability report comes out. But say this, Pete Thamel is a pretty well respected guy.
He is.
And Pete Thamel typically some of these information guys just spit stuff out of their mouth so they can, get on social media. Thamel isn't that guy. So he's heard something he trusts.
Yeah.
And that's all we'll say. Could this change between now and Saturday when they lace it up in Columbia, Missouri? Sure, but just saying, the line moves 3 points. Thamel saying something. We'll know more tonight at 8.
803-404-6100. Lots more to get to around the Gamecocks. Got some NFL stuff. And start bench drop. It's kind of like yesterday's, but different. And I'll explain when the postgame show comes back. All right, 20 minutes after 3 o'clock on this Wednesday. Jay and Terry with you. Maybe you'll get lucky with our cash contest that starts soon. No cash, but you can also listen to Carolina Calls on Thursday nights, 7 o'clock.
Can't win any dough listening. You just listen to enjoy Shane and Todd Ellis.
Yeah. I mean, you could maybe place bets on things that are said with your friends. Now, that's illegal, but if you want to do things
what's
like
Shane's line? That's the joke, as well?
As well.
So every time he says that, you can do an over-under on as well?
Do that.
Do that.
Or you could make it a drinking
game. I was thinking that, too. A little drinking game fun.
So, but you can't win cash.
Can't win cash.
Not from us, anyway.
No.
Or from
Shane. Or Todd.
Yeah. So, just saying. Sorry. It was like yesterday. Terry was, we were going into Jay versus the internet, and then Terry was like, and you can win some cash. And I was like, I can? And he's like, no, it's something separate. I was like, that's not what it sounded like. I'm still a little bent out of shape about that one. But anyway, Carolina Calls Thursday, 7 o'clock, right here.
You're not, you work here, you're not allowed to win.
This isn't really
Or your family can't
It's not really
win.
work.
No, it's not really. It's not work.
So I'm not working.
No, we're not working. We're just
so I should be able to
babbling.
Win. Yeah. Just because I show up.
Right.
Start bench drop. Yesterday, we had 2-0 teams in the National Football League that you don't quite believe in. And I mentioned that I had the Chargers. I came down for the third one to the Chargers or the Niners. And I was like, well, the Niners just have that reputation. So I didn't include them. Mm-hmm. So I did the same thing today in reverse. Today, it's 0-2 NFL teams that you do believe in. Because like 79% of 2-0 teams make the playoffs, but it's like the reverse for 0-2. Like once you start 0-2 in this league,
it puts you behind the eight ball, man.
It's tough. And I got to tell you, I thought about putting the Chiefs, because have you seen the Chiefs' schedule? It is not easy because they get the first place schedule. And right now they don't look so good, but I did not include the Chiefs because I think most people would at that point still have rightly a level of belief in the Kansas City Chiefs.
I still think, I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but I still think they get themselves in the postseason.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those, like, we talk about Georgia football?
Yeah.
I feel like that way with the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's fair.
When the Chiefs don't make it, then I'll go, okay, now I can start looking at the Chiefs differently. But as long as you got Mahomes and that defense and Andy Reid, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until they're eliminated. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Now, I also did not include at 0-2 the Dolphins or the Jets. I thought about the Jets. I'll be honest with you all.
Why?
I thought about the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Sorry, I thought about the Dolphins. I did not think about including.
Why do you think about the Jets?
The New York Jets. I did not.
I mean, don't they have the longest playoff drought left in the NFL right now? Last time they made the playoffs, Rex Ryan was the head coach, and Mark Sanchez. Right, that's before the butt fumble.
Well, I'm not surprised. I don't know if they. I assume.
By the way, doesn't the butt fumble? Shouldn't that be like the official video of the New York Jets?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just saying.
You may not believe in any of these teams, to be perfectly honest with you, but these are the ones I chose at 0-2.
All right, go for it.
Bears.
Okay.
Saints.
Okay.
Texans. Now.
Okay.
Bears again. New head coach, who's basically just a glorified coordinator, and you're supposed to have a decent quarterback. But man, they got pasted the other day.
I mean,
Saints. Spencer Rattler's numbers are actually they're good.
I think they're better than people thought they would be.
Yeah. They're not. I'm not telling you that they're elite, but you look at his numbers. Mm-hmm. And I follow a lot of guys that cover that team because they cover LSU too, Matt Moscona and all those guys, and they're actually they're comfortable, And then the Texans have been winning the AFC South the last couple of years. Take that as you will.
But they have not looked good so far this year. They rebuilt that offensive line. It's not happening yet. C.J. Stroud's not looking comfortable. They've had some injuries at receiver. I mean, they have a couple of dudes on defense, but...
I mean, you might not like any of these. And again, I didn't include the Chiefs because I just thought if I put the Chiefs on this, they're a runaway starter because of who they are.
This is a pretty good one because at first you go, I don't know how much I really...
I don't blame anybody. So I wanted to make it hard, and that's why I thought about the Dolphins, but I did not think about the Jets.
Isn't it weird, this league? 3 years ago, Mike McDaniel's this cool, cutting edge offensive guru. They run it, they throw it, they've got weapons everywhere. If you can keep Tua out of concussion protocol, this team could be dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And now he's coaching for his life a couple years later.
Yeah. It is weird.
It's crazy, this league, man.
Yeah. It's NFL. They'll chew
I
you
like
up.
this because now I like this.
You got to think a little bit.
You got to think a little bit. I like it. Good,
that's
good work,
what I
buddy.
was trying to do. Like I say, some of them I could have easily included the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, this one's a little difficult.
So, but I wanted to make you.
I know my drop. All of a sudden, now the start is who you believe in the most.
Start is who you believe in the most.
Okay, I know my drop.
Yeah.
I'm having problems with my start.
Yeah. Start is who you think at 0-2 still has a nice opportunity to be a playoff team. That's the line I want you to take. All right, not just to have the Jets might go 0-17.
They're so bad.
They'll probably beat Miami at some point.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Look,
they'll beat somebody else. They'll be 2-15.
They were so awful against the Bills last Sunday.
They were terrible.
I mean, it's almost like, does it really matter who the head coach is?
Does it matter about who the players are? It doesn't. It's like Jerry Seinfeld. You're pulling for laundry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It is just, and of course, the owner's a goof, and it all starts with the goof of the owner, who had to come out and say, "I'm going to keep my kids out of the locker room now. I'm really sorry." When you start with that guy, right. Woody Johnson, right. I'd rather have Woody from
Toy Story
or
Cheers.
Just, it's so bad. I believe you could put a cardboard cutout over there to be a head coach, and it doesn't matter.
Get a cardboard cutout of Woody from Toy Story.
I think it would be better at this point. And look, it's no offense to anyone who's coaching that football team. I just think you show up. I can't say that. But you show up basically with a water pistol at the gunfight all the time.
Yeah. Because
of ownership.
Well, he's already so incredibly wealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, if you don't know, Woody Johnson is a Johnson of Johnson
the Johnsons.
Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it just, I mean, and that expose that was written last year, when you read, that was in the Athletic. I think Diana Rossini wrote it and some others, right? When you read it, though, you didn't go like this. Wow, I'm so shocked. You went, pretty much I expected.
On brand.
I expected a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And a kid who plays Madden, making decisions.
Calling and telling them who they should draft and trade, and the dad listening, and these goofs running through the locker room talking to these players and
bringing their buddies in for selfies.
Yeah, I mean, you just lose a game, and there's hey dude, can you pose with my bud? Come on, man, what are we doing here? Yeah. What are we doing here?
We're trying to run our business.
See. They're lucky one of these high testosterone players like a Ryan Brewer guy after a loss, because you always hear Brewer after a loss, he hates everybody, wants to fight everybody.
Yes.
Could you see one of these goobers walking up to Brewer in the locker room? Dude, can I get a selfie with my boys with you?
Hey, selfie this.
Guess Ryan would stick that phone in really bad places.
Yes.
Just saying.
So anyway, start bench drop, 0-2 teams that you still, maybe believe in, maybe you don't. And again, the starter would be the team you have the most belief in moving forward. Bears, Saints, or the Texans. All right, we'll come back on the other side. We'll go a little long form. Mike Shula has spoken today, Clayton White, Joe DeCamillis as well. We're not going to give you the whole thing, but we're going to give you the first couple of minutes because really that's where typically most of the meat in these things is. So we'll let you hear what Mike Shula had to say, and remind you that Jordan Kay, who was down there, will be joining us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. So lots more to do on a Wednesday postgame show. Griffin Pools and Spas, family owned since 1976, still family owned today, nearly 50 years later, and they understand the value of relaxation and how it can make so many things in life a whole lot better for you. Their mission is to make that kind of relaxation a daily reality for you and your family. Reach out to Griffin, get a free estimate on a brand new spa or hot tub that complements your life. Anything you want in there that just makes you feel better, they've got it in the showroom right now. You'll love owning a spa. Nothing like coming home after a long day of work and just being able to flip that switch and unwind, indulge in the ultimate relaxation and pampering with a huge range of luxury spas. Again, they're steps away from the Lake Murray Dam in Lexington, where they've been for many, many years. See what these things look like, feel like right there. 957-2121, and always online to learn more at griffinpoolsandspas.com. "26 minutes in front of 4 o'clock here on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. Carolina at Missouri Saturday night. Gamecocks opened as 11.5-point underdogs, moved up to 13.5. Overnight dropped to 10.5. And as we speak, back to the opening line of 11.5. Why?
Who knows?
Again,
how these things work.
a national report suggesting that Lenore Sellers may be available. We will find out.
Would that move the line, though, Jay? 3 points.
I think it would. I think it would. So we'll find out. And again, tonight there will be the first availability report, and it'll have questionable, probable, out.
Do they do doubtful?
Doubtful, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
NFL does all those.
Wishful, hopeful,
praying.
Yeah. Bashful, dopey, sleepy. So we'll see.
Man.
Did I get those things crossed?
Ready?
Not quite the same.
We label him sleepy for Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of Saturday, not sleepy, but wide awake, I applaud this. Elijah Campbell is going to be doing something not new to Earth, but new to us.
Yeah, have a little fun.
Yeah. So.
Elijah and Randy, our engineer, came up into my office saying, "Hey, why don't?" Because other outlets do this on social media. It's not going to be the first.
Okay.
But to host a hang where Elijah's watching the game and we're gonna, and I'm not gonna lie, we have a brand new beautiful studio here for video stream podcasting and stuff like that. And so we it'd be a good idea. Let's use this sucker. Let's experiment a little bit. Elijah and Randy came, to me with the idea of let's experiment by doing a hang with Elijah. Elijah's going to watch the game.
Yeah.
He'll comment on it. You feel free to jump in the chats and stuff and comment.
This is for all ages, right?
Sure.
This isn't one of those.
No, under 18 you can't be in. No, I don't think Elijah's going to use any awful language or have any adult situations on the video stream.
Fully clothed.
We hope. Yeah,
there's a reason to tune in.
That's right. See what happens.
Roll those dice.
Maybe it'll be one of those every time South Carolina scores, clothes go off. I don't know. But it'll be fun. So you can hang with Elijah and watch the game at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe I'll come crash the party.
You could, man. If I was going to be in town, I'd crash the party. That should be fun. And
I probably won't though, because that's his thing.
But here's the thing. Like anything, we're going to do it. Then when it's over with, we'll go, okay, what was good? What was bad? Should we do it again?
Sure.
Well, I'd love to do it again. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But let's see how it goes this week. As Elijah will do this. Watch the game. You can hang with Elijah, and you can talk ball.
Well, after the game, look at the film and see what was. That's what coaches do too.
And then Elijah will have a presser like Mike Shula.
Which takes us into Mike Shula, who did speak today, along with Clayton White and Joe DeCamillis. Coordinators go on Wednesdays, and the setup is simply going to be David Cloninger asking the first question of the Gamecock OC.
Hey, Dave.
How's it going, Mike? I think it's fair to say that the offensive line has struggled through these first 3 games. What have you and Lonnie got to go to talk about to try to alleviate that and maybe have to scheme a way around it sometimes?
Well, I think, again, I think I answered this question last week, too. I mean, I think offensively we've done some good things and we haven't done some good things. I think they fall into line with a lot of us. So, yeah, we just keep working on consistency. As an offense, the negative plays kill you. It's pretty cut and dry. You keep the ball moving forward, you stay out of the negative plays, you get a better chance to move the ball and score points. So can't get the ball moving backwards, can't have the ball moving backwards, however it is, whether or not it's up front, whether or not it's another position. Again, offensive line a lot of times gets noticed, sometimes for the wrong reasons. Or they get noticed when something negative happens, but there's a lot of good going on there. All I know is our guys practice hard. They're getting better with experience, whether or not they're young guys or new guys to our system. But we have to be better as an offense.
With the quarterbacks the last couple of days of practice, I know you're obviously not going to share an injury report, but what can you share that you've seen from those guys these last 2 days on the field?
Quarterbacks are doing well. They're practicing well, practicing hard, and getting ready for a really, really good defense.
Hey, Mike, what did you see out of Luke stepping in to play quarterback when Lenoris went down? And just how do you feel like if he were to start this weekend, how ready do you feel like he is for that opportunity?
So Luke he's a really good communicator, does a good job of getting people lined up. And, he probably what you all saw as well. Some really good things, some things that were okay, and some things that, we'd probably like to have back. So, but Luke's smart. He's very conscientious. He's very inclusive with the guys on the sideline, guys in the huddle, and does a really good job communicating there, and then also with us. So has good ideas and thoughts, and he's a guy that you can tell that has a lot of experience, but kind of like the offensive line, and all of us just keep working for that consistency.
In a situation like Saturday night when Lenoris does go down right before the half, how much does the game plan kind of have to change in that moment with a different quarterback with maybe a different skill set than what Lenoris has?
Yeah, I think a little bit, but we try to work as hard as we can, quarterbacks and coaches, just to where it becomes seamless if the next guy up has to go in. But yeah, you want to try to kind of tailor it maybe to the guy who's in there. So as we know, when it's hard to get equal reps to all quarterbacks. So if a guy is not starting, then he's probably not getting as many reps. So one of the things you try to do is kind of like, okay, hey, what plays do you like? What plays in our system? I know you like everything. I get that. I know you like everything, but what plays do you really like? And then you try to call those plays in the game, and especially if they're the things that you saw during practice that they're doing defensively, they're doing.
What's impressed you the most about Nick Carper the last few games?
Yeah, I think he's kind of like since I've been here. I think he just continues to grow and to get better. Has he arrived yet? Not quite there. I think he'd probably be the first to tell you that. But the thing I like about him in general, though, is that he's very conscientious and really works diligently to get better, and gives good effort. He's got good toughness. He's still learning a lot about playing the position in every aspect, running routes, understanding how the route adjustments, tying in the run game with the pass game, running with the football, all that kind of stuff. But yes, he's hopefully, if he continues with it with the way he's going, he'll continue to get better and help us.
Has Lenoris practiced any this week?
I think Coach Beamer probably has talked about all that. I think he's got all those answers.
In regards to Lenoris running the ball, Shane said yesterday that they're the same plays that you guys ran last year. How accurate is that?
Yeah, I would say there's when you offensively, there's a lot of you work in the offseason or training camp, things like that, to have kind of a core set of plays, running game-wise, passing game-wise, whether or not it's whoever's running the ball, running backs, quarterbacks, whatever, and then you try to build off that with variations. And I think, all through my career and in every offense I've been in, I think offenses have that. You have a base and a foundation, and then you have variations off that, whether or not it's a similar run with a different add-on, so to speak, or same exact run with a different formation, or same run with the same formation.
All right, there you go. A few minutes from Mike Shula. Again, there's more that he had to say, and we'll touch on that throughout the course of the afternoon. But look, obviously, no confirmation of Lenoris Sellers' availability, practice time, etc. Only on one question: quarterbacks are practicing hard for a good Missouri defense. And then when asked, did Lenoris practice? I think Coach Beamer has all those.
Yeah, Coach Beamer handles that. Yeah. He's the head coach.
Beyond that, again, I think he alludes in different ways, Terry, to the fact that it's as we said earlier, it's not as bad as it appears. We've got to fix the things that are controllable, and we're not doing that. That's the basic gist of what's going on.
And look, let's be honest here. You better fix it quick.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go, look, those cats in Columbia, Missouri, you see how many points a game they're scoring?
Yeah.
That offense is humming. They got a guy named Hardy in the backfield who's running over people. And Eli Drinkwitz, is really good at doing a lot of the eye candy misdirection. Hey, they're over here. No, they're over there. And the thing about Eli, if a play's working, you know what he'll do?
He'll keep doing it.
Over and over and over.
Lots more to do on the Wednesday postgame show. Eleven minutes in front of 4 o'clock here on a Wednesday. Jay and Terry with you. Welcome back in. Jordan Kay of the State Paper will join us coming up at about a half hour's time with more on what the coordinators had to say, looking ahead to Saturday night's game at Mizzou. We'll have more from from Mike Shula and Clayton White coming up in just a bit, too. Real quick, before we have Terry open the vault, our boy John hits us, says there's not enough being made about Carolina's third drive getting absolutely obliterated by a holding call and a botched snap that instantly went to 3rd and 33. Who knows what could have happened if those two things don't happen? Sure. I mean, and we can, John, you make a great point. We can play that game all day, you know, the what-if game. But, yes, and this, I think, is what was said last week and this week. And again, I'm not here to go, hey, it's all good. And neither is Terry. But it feels, Mr. Ford, like the vast majority of things that are ailing this football team are things they do or, in a sense, don't do. It isn't what's being, if you will, done to them. Now, I do want to give Tim Beck a lot of credit for some of the things he did to keep Carolina's defense on its heels and not be as aggressive as it wanted to be. But Tim Beck didn't do anything to the Carolina offense.
No. The offense, again, look, you got to give credit where credit's due. You ran a zone blitz scheme. Lenoris missed the read through his first pick in 75 throws. His big defensive lineman actually caught the bleeping thing. So give Vandy credit for a nice disguise defensively. You won that play defensively. But for the most part, South Carolina moved the ball up and down the field. And to that drive, the person on Twitter, X, is talking about, not only did you have those issues, you had the sack.
Right.
And the sack had a free runner, and it's right after Harbor and Sellers connected on the 16-yard play for the first down, and they're showing the highlight in the double box while they're live, right? Yeah. And I'm telling you, this. I think we talked about it Monday. So they're showing the highlight. Oh, Harbor, he's progressing as a receiver. Look at the route. He got open. Sellers, a nice throw. Harbor makes a catch, first down. And then you look over to the left, and Sellers laying on the ground. And, the Vandy linebacker gets up, and he's going back to the huddle like, what the hell just happened here? And we find out from Shane it was a free runner that got loose, unblocked linebacker on a blitz and got the sack. So you had a sack, you had a penalty, then you had and I like to call it the worm burner snap.
He mentions that one. Yeah.
From,
these are
Boaz
things.
Stanley.
So these
you
are
can
things
fix the snap,
you're
Jay.
Yeah.
You can fix penalties.
Yeah.
And that sack, it was because of a missed assignment on the offensive line, a correctable moment.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's got to be a thing that's driving everyone crazy, players and coaches alike, and fans, and media, and everybody. These are self-inflicted. This is Harry Carey.
Right.
You're committing Harry Carey to yourself is what you're doing.
Yeah, this isn't a case where you are just being thoroughly dominated. You don't have the players to run the race, the horses to run the race. It's not. That's not what happened. So and to the point you made a minute ago, you better darn well fix it. But you knew last week, and that's again that kind of makes people go, ugh, because Shane talked about we felt like we had such a good week of practice, and then to go out and not execute. Right. And after hearing team leaders like Case and Henry and Boaz Stanley get up in front and go, we know we're not practicing well enough. And then what? So how much, you just got to, I know it's easy enough to say, well, go practice better. You better.
You better, because you got to score about 30 points a game to win in the SEC consistently.
Absolutely. All right, let's open the vault.
The vault. On this day in 1984, Reggie Jackson with the Angels did this. Reggie hits home run number 500 on this day in 1984.
What do you finish with? I'll look that up.
530,
540,
something like that, maybe.
Reggie was fun, man. I again, growing up, didn't get to see a lot of him because he was an American leaguer, and we didn't get a lot of American League baseball except occasional Saturdays. And by the time I was really watching a lot, he had moved on back out to California. I remember him as a Yankee. I do. And I remember, in fact, I remember going, I'll tell you where I got my first Reggie bar. I was with my grandmother. And those of you who have lived here a long time, like me, it hasn't been a grocery store in decades, but there was an old Piggly Wiggly down here at the end of Gervais Street. And I remember getting a Reggie bar.
For
at
Reggie
the old
Barr.
Piggly Wiggly, man.
Man, I'll tell you real quick. He was an Oriole for a year.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
In between going
Yep,
to New York.
He held
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
came in, had a hell of a year, and then left to go to the Yankees in free agency. Not well liked was Reggie in Baltimore.
I get it. It
was a personal
500, by the way, 563.
Oh, 63. Reggie was a hell of a...
563. And over nearly 2,600
what
hits.
Reggie did in that World Series against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That was
Mr.
classic
October,
stuff.
man. Mr. October. Hour 2 coming up.
CHW Cabinetry. Look, we love to talk about what the folks over at CHW Cabinetry do, Star and the crew. You know, I can sit here all day and just say, hey, they do photo-realistic renderings to show you everything from beginning to end. Hey, they make great cabinets, and they do everything but make the cabinets for you. I can say all that. And it's all true. But just go to the website and look at the cabinetry they do. Look at the work they have done, whether it's in the kitchen, living room, a bedroom closet, outside, inside. The work is impeccable. And they will do it to what you want, to your budget, your specifications, and to your satisfaction. Just call 803-520-6837. Sit down with them. Go sit down with Star and the group and tell them what you want and see what they can do for you. I'm telling you, 803-520-6837. Give them a call, CHW Cabinetry.
4 o'clock on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Second hour of the post-game show coming at you from the Herndon Chevy Studios in downtown Columbia, South Carolina, along with Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Thank you so much for choosing to be with us today. We appreciate you. In fact, we appreciate you so much. Starting tomorrow, we're just going to give away a lot of Terry's salary, or at least make the attempt.
A year's worth of it.
So, I mean,
4,000,
that's good.
$5,000.
Good on you, man.
There we go, man.
Good on you.
It's a big cash, babe.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So,
yeah.
no, we will start doing
Dad,
that tomorrow.
why did they let me in my class? Well, stop paying your tuition. Start paying cash to the listeners.
So be tuned in. I guess it starts in the morning.
Yes, it'll be 5 times a day.
You
know.
seem unsure.
Well, it might change. We want to keep people on their toes,
I see.
man.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it could be 7 a.m. tomorrow, and then the next day, maybe 8 a.m. We won't do it at 6 a.m. I'll guarantee you that.
Okay.
We don't do that to folks in the 6 a.m. hour, to be fair.
But, I mean, maybe they get up early, and what a great chance.
Yeah, it's true, too. Maybe we will. You just talk me into it. Maybe I'll do it in the 6 a.m. hour.
I don't know. I really.
So if you're listening right now and you're not awake at 6 a.m. and we decide to do it in the 6 a.m. hour and you're annoyed, just Jay Phillips.
Well, let me be
Head
blunt.
cute.
Let me be blunt. I really don't care because I can't win. So what? I mean, I have no vested interest in
That
this.
is true. You're not allowed to win.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Maybe a friend of yours can win and they'll give you some dough. I mean, we can't trace that,
No,
to be honest.
that's all I need.
You would be the guy to get caught.
Yeah.
And over like a grand. Now,
FCC investigates talk show host.
I'm not saying
Over
look,
$100 giveaway.
look, $1,000 is nice, and people can use 1,000. I'm not going to say it's not nice.
Oh, is it 1,000?
It's $1,000,
Oh,
5 times a day
okay. I thought it was $100.
for the Cumulus's, radio stations.
Okay.
I'll say this: I think $1,000 is nice, but it's like I'll see these guys who get caught robbing convenience stores
Yeah.
and go to jail.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go to prison and risk the world that is
Yeah.
the life in a penitentiary,
Yep.
it ain't gonna be for a convenience store.
No, I may as well get hit a bank at that point.
I'm going to a bank. I'm going to do something. It's going to be worth my while to risk my freedom, if you know what I'm saying, and other things that could happen to you in prison.
But the old John Dillinger, why'd you rob banks? That's where the money is.
That's exactly. I'm not going. Unless, of course, it's raising Arizona and you need diapers.
Yeah.
Then you got to do what you got to do, like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'll be taking
one of the-
these Huggies and whatever
scene
cash
is
you got
so
there in the
funny.
register.
Scene is so funny.
I need me a baby. I got more than they can handle.
That movie is so underrated.
Tiger. I could go all day, man.
Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter are
I
fantastic.
could go all day.
So good.
John Goodman is awesome.
Goodman's so good too.
That's
Anyway,
that's one of the finest films ever made, man.
so good, man. So good.
Yeah, please watch Raising Arizona if you've never seen it.
Raising it is. It's. I mean, you will laugh many times watching Raising Arizona.
That's another one. Every once in a while, Sonny will do this. She'll be like, they got more than they can handle. Or if you see something, turn to the right. Just the little things, man. We go deep cut on that one.
It's a great movie.
We go deep cut.
Hey, look, I love Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite movies
great.
ever.
Great.
Raising Arizona ain't far behind about how good Raising Arizona was.
But by the way, I guess we're just a few days away from the new Spinal Tap, so I do need to figure out what I'm going to do with that.
Yeah, I know. Same here. Love me some Spinal Tap.
I'm looking forward to it.
Like I say, as much as I love Spinal Tap, another underrated movie is Best in Show.
Yeah, absolutely. Best in Show is fantastic.
Fred Willard as the
announcer.
show judge.
Yeah, the announcer.
Or the announcer.
Yeah, the announcer.
Is hilarious.
And the English guy with him that's all trying to be all serious. It's great. The fact that Eugene Levy's character literally has 2 left feet. It's so
my
good,
God,
man.
it's so
Like,
good.
it's like, why had no one ever
I know.
come up with that?
So
And so he's like, he has 2 left feet. He has 2 left feet.
hilarious. It's hilarious. But yeah, to your point, Spinal Tap coming out. I'm looking forward to it because I love me some Spinal Tap. But I'm hoping it's just going to be solid.
Yeah.
And I won't be disappointed. But anyway.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Or Mighty Win, Fred Willard and Mighty Win.
I never saw that, and I heard that's phenomenal.
Man,
I hear it's phenomenal.
It's good.
Start bench drop, my man. What do you
Yeah,
got there?
Bears, Saints, Texans, 0-2 teams that you still feel good about. Again, if you're just tuning in, I did not include the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2, but they would have been everybody's starter because I think everybody by and large, still believes, certainly in the Chiefs' ability to be a postseason team. Now, with the Chargers starting 2-0 and Denver at 1-1, they have a little leg up on Kansas City. And maybe the Chiefs, without Rice and Worthy, are still trying to figure out who they are. I know, Travis had a bad drop the other day. And yet they still only lost by 3. And
They've lost 2 games by 3 points.
Yeah, and they haven't been good. That's just it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost like as soon as you turn it on,
you're missing your 2 top wide receivers. Rice is suspended. Worthy's hurt.
you get Rice back. It's a 5 game.
Yep. Right. And you get Rice back. Worthy will get healthy here soon. And then you got, Hollywood Brown's a nice number 3, but you don't want him to be your number 1 option. And Kelsey's just not who he used to be. I mean, we can joke about stuff about Taylor
yeah,
Swift.
No, I get it.
Kelsey's in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of football.
Yeah, there's a lot, like Indiana Jones says, it's not the age, it's the mileage.
Yes. He's just not going to be the guy he used to be, and you can't depend on him to be what he was, because what he was is a Hall of Fame tight end. Yeah. Now he's just a serviceable tight end who can help you.
Right. And Andy, that may be, in some ways, that may be on Andy to figure out how they give him a different role.
Yeah.
You want him to do this, but it's situational role. It can't be. He just can't be out there every snap.
He can't be your guy that what he had been from Mahomes was a security safety blanket, and for years. And again, that drop, you got to make that catch. That ball's right there, and not only did you not catch it, but you bobbled it into the hands of an Eagle defender, and that wasn't the only play, but that was a vital.
That's a big one.
Vital play in that game that turned the momentum to Philadelphia.
That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, still, you've lost 2 games by 6 points. So again, I didn't include the Chiefs, and you may not. I kind of joked on the tweet I put out. You may not believe in any of these teams,
right?
But I didn't include. I thought about the Dolphins on here, maybe instead of the Saints. I put the Bears because the Bears have a lot of hype this year, and maybe they can get something done. I want to talk about them in just a second, by the way, on another story. Texans have been to the playoffs the last couple of years. If from a bad division, I grant you, but nevertheless, they've been in the playoffs. So
and they've got talent. That's a talented football
not
team.
last year, but in 23, did they win a playoff game?
I think they won a playoff game in Stroud's rookie year.
Yeah. So
I think they won in the wild card round and lost in the divisional round.
Yeah.
So, and look, everybody thinks, Ryans is a really good young up and coming head coach.
They did defensively good. They did not look good the other night.
And that offensive line is just a mess. They couldn't run the ball. They can't protect Stroud. Besides that, you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
I just think, again, we say this all the time. We know talking offensive line is boring. Nobody has a fantasy draft for, hey, what offensive lineman am I going to take? But you know what? Nothing else matters if your offensive line stinks.
I agree. So that's your start bench drop. Hit me up on Twitter or on the Firehouse Subs text line 803-404-6100. Your starter for today's start bench drop exercise is the team you have the most faith in. I mentioned the Bears, and they play the Cowboys this weekend. That's Fox's national game, so it'll be Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady calling that one. We mentioned this a little bit yesterday. Monday night, for those of you who didn't see it or you haven't paid much attention, Monday night, Tom Brady was caught by the ESPN camera. I say caught. He was seen on camera on Monday Night Football in the Raiders coaching booth with a headset on. That part of it, I said yesterday, and I'll reiterate today, I don't have a problem with that. You own 5% of the team. You're going to the Hall of Fame. You went to a bunch of Super Bowls. You won most of them. You know the game inside and out. I got zero problem with someone who has an ownership stake in a club with that kind of football experience wanting to be part as long as everyone is on board with it. That's fine. I really don't care. What I care about, and what I do think is a huge conflict of interest, is that Tom Brady gets to go into production meetings that are more behind the scenes than even press conferences, because what the NFL has asked for years, and this happens in college too, hey, and it's a request. It's not a demand. It's a request. Give the production crew, give the play-by-play guy, the color team, the sideline, the producer and director, give us a little more. You don't have to give us a game plan. But give us a little more than you would give during your weekly press conference.
Give us some inside stuff.
Or your
behind the
coach's
curtain.
show. Because that way, throughout the course of the game, we've got a little bit more basis to build upon for whatever situations come up. So you guys all get that. Now, again, no coach is going to say, oh, man, I can't believe so-and-so is coming in for the production meeting. You think I should just hand them this week's game plan and playbook? Like, they're not doing that. So Ben Johnson is the new head coach of the Bears and obviously very successful OC for many years up in Detroit. And as expected, he was asked today, hey, when they come in to meet with you later this week, what are you going to tell them? Quote, I'm not really worried about it. I mean, we change week to week in terms of what we do. Schematically, he's going to be able to turn on the tape and see what everyone else in the world is seeing right now. Personnel-wise, same thing. It's not like I'm going to sit down with him and say, hey, don't do this to Caleb Williams or you might get it. There's not going to be any trade secrets that are going to be exchanged. I really don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest with you, end quote. So, Terry, there's the first one and the reason if you're saying, well, Jay, why does it matter? Next week,
guess who the Raiders
the
play?
Raiders play the Bears. And so what information do you glean from this? And Ben is taking the high road here, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the NFL yesterday treated every single one of us like bleeping morons because they said the NFL has no policy against a minority owner being in the booth. Bro, that ain't the question.
Right.
Like it's just that that's not what we're talking about here. And I come back to a question I asked you yesterday. Does the NFL and does Fox really need Tom Brady to be on television?
And that's where it comes back to me. Sometimes perception, whether it's reality or not, is perception. And sometimes a look is a bad look. And I'm going to say this. Nobody's watching games because Tom Brady's doing them. He's not that good at it.
No.
He's okay. Not great.
There are
He's
guys
all
that
right.
are better.
But no one's watching games. No one says, hey, what game's Tom Brady doing today? I want to watch that one. No one's doing it. So why are you putting yourself in this situation as a league where, once again, like we talk about with other things, your integrity can be questioned because you think having Tom Brady on a broadcast is helping you get TV numbers? What should have happened is very simple. If Terry Ford could be the commissioner, because remember, Tom Brady went to Fox first and became a minority owner of the Raiders.
Yeah.
I'd have called, hey, Tom, congratulations, man, on being a minority owner of the Raiders. That's awesome. By the way, I've got your agent on another line here, and I've got Fox because you're not going to be the broadcast guy anymore. Okay? I just think you had to put an end to it right there, right?
Yes. You know what I think is interesting, though, and I'm serious when I say this. Tom Brady, for those of you who don't know, Tom Brady signed a 10-year, $375 million deal with Fox. Terry, you want to know how he can afford to, in some ways, become part of an ownership
that
group?
deal.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot
I know
of
he
dough.
made a lot of money, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Ton of money. Maybe that's why Tom Brady said, I need that money, guys.
So, yeah.
I need
So,
the money.
again, I couldn't care less if, from an owner's perspective and a football expert perspective, he wants to help his team win.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you.
Yeah.
But you can't be going into closed practices, closed film sessions, production meetings where, again, the intel is expected to be, again, strongly requested to be more in-depth than the average press conference where it's usually a lot of word salad.
Or I'll say this. If you want to do this, which, again, I would have stopped it, then he cannot do any games of teams that the Raiders are playing.
Yeah. And there's ways to fix it. But yesterday's statement was a slap in the
stupid,
face.
Right. Yes.
Jordan Kay on the other side. He was at press conferences today. We'll see what he has to say as the Gamecocks prep for Mizzou. Jordan, State Paper, joins us right after this. Cato's Power Equipment ready to help you keep your yard looking great. Whether you do it for yourself, you do it for a living, just in time for fall, Cato's is offering you a big upgrade on your Toro or Gravely mower with a new bag system or mulch kit. Now up to $75 off, and they will install it for free. Their service department, the awesome techs over there, will get you in and out quick. Save your weekends for football and let Cato's handle all the tools. The 4012 West Beltline Boulevard. If you haven't been into the showroom of late, by the way, looks fantastic in there. They're also offering you some great options with saving 8% off of several things through the end of next week. When it comes to new steel blowers, Gravely mowers, a lot of things, you can enjoy 8% off all of those tools. So stop in, see exactly what's up for grabs. 4012 West Beltline Boulevard, and always online at catospowerequipment.com.
Quick check on the traffic. We have a few accidents on our early ride home. Columbia Highway at Jake Knott's Bridge, also Highway 321 at Glen Road. In Harbison, a disabled truck, I-26 eastbound at Harbison at exit 103. Also an accident reported at US 176 Broad River Road at Piney Grove Road. And we have our typical road construction, I-126, I-26, and I-20, and also the bridge blocked at Blink Bonnie Road between Belfield Road and Ridgetop Lane.
Nineteen minutes after 4 o'clock on this Wednesday. Jay and Terry with you. Welcome back in. Back into some Gamecock talk now. Our buddy Jordan Kay on the beat for the State Paper is with us on the guest line. Most important question, was our own Elijah Campbell properly clothed today and behaving himself at the press conference?
But was he properly?
Oh, I don't know about properly clothed. I didn't see if he's wearing flip-flops today. So, but as far as the upper body, you know, he was good to go.
All right, that's good. That's good. We're just making sure because
if they did a no flip-flop rule over there,
he wouldn't go.
He couldn't do it with no sandals.
He wouldn't go. Or he'd just go
There's no
barefoot and go,
way.
you didn't say I couldn't be barefoot. You said no flip-flops. Elijah would
He'd
just...
probably paint his feet like shoes.
Yeah.
Do the-
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, they got body paint. They should have shoe paint.
I wouldn't put it past him. Jordan, it feels like this football team knows that the vast majority of what ails it is self-inflicted, be it penalties, missed assignments, drops, bad angles, you name it. The majority of it. Said it last week, saying it again this week. What more can you take from their messaging about what's being done to make sure that stops?
I don't know that you can take anything from their messaging because, you listen to all these press conferences and they're not going to come out and say, their solution. But even trying to read between the lines, it was hard to really come up with anything that, I could even think of what they're going to do. It was kind of odd today. There were really no specifics on changes. They just say we need to be better in everything and doing this. We need to be better. And it's like, that's great. But what is that actually going to look like? And it didn't seem like there were a ton of, clear-cut answers today or even from when Shane was talking. And I think we're going to kind of have to wait a couple drives against Missouri to be like, okay, is this offense different in any way? Or is it just the same thing kind of repackaged?
What's your gut, Jordan? Again, they're not saying anything, but what you're hearing or what the whispering or what you're thinking. Chancellor Norris playing Saturday in your mind?
I would say it's pretty high. I kind of heard earlier in the week that it was it sort of looked pretty solid, favorable, and then I saw Phil Kornbluth's report today that he did practice, and Pete Thamel seemed to report that people are optimistic, and so I've not heard from someone who's doesn't think he's going to play, and so that's kind of an indication to me that I would assume that he's probably going to be out there against Missouri. We'll probably find out a little bit more during the injury report today, I think at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I also wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina just kind of put that he was questionable and still trying to kind of do a little gamesmanship with Missouri.
Jordan Kay with us on the beat with the State Paper. Gamecocks at Mizzou on Saturday night. Clayton White also had his turn today, and that was one of the things that I think maybe wasn't overlooked from Saturday, but because of the angst around the offense already, and then Lenoris goes down. But, I know they're not happy defensively, and Clayton made mention of that today. And that really stood out to me, I thought. That they were really kind of kept off balance all night. What did Clayton say today about why he feels they had such a bad game?
I think a lot of it he seemed to think is just they have to be a lot better tackling. I think a lot of those drives could have just been ended if they tackled better. And that obviously, killed them on some of those third downs. But then it's it's so hard because Vanderbilt's just such a weird team where South Carolina's defense was on the field seemingly all night. And then you look at the stat sheet and they only played 63 plays. So South Carolina and Vandy both ran the same amount of plays. And Vandy was out there for over 10 minutes longer. Yeah. So it was just weird where it was South Carolina's defense was just out there, but they weren't actually playing a ton of plays. I don't know if that kind of lulled them a little bit, and that's why the tackling was bad. It seemed like South Carolina or Vanderbilt's offensive line at times was winning battles with South Carolina's D-line. And maybe there were some holds in there. I'm sure there was, but there were, the Dylan Stewart thing at the end, that can't happen. And I know the roughing the passer penalties are pretty soft, but again, it's just stuff that can't happen. And it's just it seems like, there's those little things that, every year or something, think back to the LSU game, but I didn't think it was the worst performance from the defense. I mean, a lot of them were on short fields. I mean, they didn't even give up, 350 total yards. It was just they couldn't get off the field on third down and they missed too many crucial tackles.
You talk about South Carolina outgained Vandy, higher yards per play than Vandy. Got to the Vandy 46 times, only scored 7 points, though, Jordan. Finishing drives is becoming a major issue for this team.
Yeah, and that's where, if you're the optimist about South Carolina, you could look at all those numbers and tell me this offense is close. Hey, if Lenora Sellers was in there, he would have ran the ball up the middle, gotten a first down on 4th and 1. He would have ran it on 4th and 3, gotten a first down. He would have done, like, you could take me through all these what ifs and be like, man, this team was really close to scoring 35 points, 42 points. But these little things, it's like it's one thing after another, and it's, you know, if you have all the water coming from all over the house, it's like you can plug one hole, but it's not going to fix everything. And this South Carolina team had bad snaps. There were false start penalties. You have fumbles by 2 different people. You have interceptions by 2 different people. You have a missed field goal on special teams. I mean, there are so many different little things that kind of hindered them in the red zone. That's why it's a little tougher where, yes, you can say, hey, if you just finish drive, this will be fine, no big deal. But it's like they couldn't. And until they do, it's kind of hard to have a ton of faith in that.
Speaking of kicking, I know Joe D spoke today as well about the difference in what Mason Love and William Joyce can bring to the place kicking. I mean, obviously, Mason's going to continue to punt. And he said, it's more situational. Take us a little more in depth. Is that really a belief that it's situational, or is Mason Love becoming the place kicker?
I would love to know what situational means when he says that. He kind of keeps a lot of that stuff close to the vest, and I'm with you. I have no idea what that means. Like, is that, you know, if we're going east, that one of the guys is better? If it's a west field goal post, then one of the guys is better? I'm a little confused about it. You know, I even tried to ask about some of the ranges, and I guess based on that, maybe like over 50, you know, we're going to throw Mason Love out there, or if it's under 50, then William Joyce is going to be the guy. Is it just whoever's better in pregame? Like, I really don't know. My guess is, you know, William Joyce is still the guy, and if there was a field goal, you know, within 50 yards, he would be the guy. But, you know, until I guess we see that, and we see, you know, a field goal from inside 50 and outside 50 in the same game, I guess we won't know.
Last thing for you, I'm not a sky is falling type, especially in September, and certainly I'm not going to go must win. But this game this weekend, which was maybe of the first 5, and we talk about 5-0, 4-1, this always felt like the most difficult. How much more difficult has this ball club made this game, and how much more crucial is it for South Carolina to fix these ails and still try to have that 4-1 mark after 5?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, like, I don't want to say it's a must-win in September, but when you look at the goals that were outlined kind of by this team and by this fan base before the season, it was win 10 games and get into the playoffs. And if you drop 2 before you play LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, A&M, like 10 wins, then you got to go undefeated. That feels almost impossible. Getting to the playoff feels just about impossible. Life gets a lot harder if you lose this week. And again, this is a Missouri team that, you know, I think we all kind of thought of the first 5, this is going to be the most difficult. And it doesn't help that Missouri has looked spectacular the first 3 games. I know they haven't played really anyone except Kansas, who's iffy, but they still scored over 100 points. Their quarterback looks like an absolute stud who Penn State fans are now wondering if they picked the wrong guy.
Right.
His running back looks like he's going to be a draft pick. And this is a place in Como that South Carolina hasn't won since 2017. This is a coach in Eli Drinkwitz who the Gamecocks hadn't really beaten until last year. I mean, there's just a lot of things where even if South Carolina was undefeated, you'd kind of point and say, hey, you know, Missouri, this could be their week. And now with this, it's one, you know, South Carolina really does have their backs against the wall. Granted, they've sometimes played really well in those moments. I think back to the Oklahoma game last year, or even the Kentucky game. People thought they were kind of doomed after that tight game against Old Dominion. They looked great against Kentucky. Kind of thought they were doomed after that Alabama loss, and they excel in Oklahoma. So, I mean, they've experienced this, and Shane has been solid when his back's against the wall, but this is going to be a tough test.
Good stuff as always, sir. We appreciate it. Safe travels. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate you, bud.
That's Jordan K. of the State Paper. You can follow him on Twitter, Jordan K _. 23. This is the postgame show. The Men's Clinic. Dr. Dan Balknight and his team ready to help you out, guys, when you're just not feeling like you anymore. And that could be a host of things. Bedroom, boardroom, weight room, just out working in the yard, or even sitting at the desk at the office and just you're off. And you're like, this didn't used to be that way. What's going on here? Don't wait for it to go away. And for certain things that you might feel a little embarrassed about, don't. These are medical professionals. This is what they deal with. And it's one-on-one. There's no magic pills. There's no one-size-fits-all. Whatever it might be, they're going to get to the root of it with you and prescribe a treatment that's for you. So make sure you stop in and see them real soon. The Men's Clinic is ready to help you out. 803-875-MENS, the Men's Clinic.
Quick check on the roads. A few accidents. Columbia Highway at Jake Knott's Bridge. Also DeQuincy Freeman Freeway at Farrow Road. Highway 321 at Glen Road. Also I-20 westbound at Fairfield Road, exit 70. I-20 westbound at US 378, exit 61. I-26 eastbound at Harbison Road. There's a disabled truck. Also, Park Street at Lady Street, there's an accident reported. US 176, Broad River Road at Piney Grove Road as well. We'll jump back in here, talk more from the coordinators today. Clayton White took the mic as well. We'll get to that and our start bench drop on the postgame show. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford here on the game.
25 minutes in front of 5 o'clock here on a Wednesday afternoon. Thanks again to Jordan Kay for joining us. State.com, GoGamecocks.com. Jordan Kay with an E _23 to follow on Twitter. Before we get into a little bit of Clayton White, our good friend Brad Crawford is amongst those, Pete Thamel, that have tweeted out today. Let me just read them. Brad Crawford. I was told Lenora Sellers practiced today. At what capacity, I'm not sure, but he's expected to be available for South Carolina's game against Missouri. Pete Thamel, ESPN national analyst. See, there are two national analysts, or at least reporters. Pete Thamel. There's optimism around the status of South Carolina quarterback Lenora Sellers for the game at Missouri on Saturday, per ESPN sources. He's been in practice, and there are positive signs for his availability. So, again, tonight around 8 o'clock, the first Southeastern Conference availability report of the week. That's a mandated report. And again, doubtful, hopeful, bashful, sleepy, questionable,
Dopey, Doc.
There's a whole list of things they got on there.
Do you really want to be listed as dopey?
No. Well, I already am. But
I was going to say I've been there.
I don't want to be. That doesn't mean I'm.
Just the people that know me well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, so, I mean, there you go. And is that why the line moved 3 points overnight? I mean, look, y'all. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
lines don't move that big of a
not overnight on Tuesday to Wednesday.
No.
Not without a major reason. And again, that's either an injury or a lack thereof, or something like that. Now, again, Terry and I joked earlier, Ahmad Hardy could have food poisoning, and that would move the line 3 points, perhaps. I hope he doesn't. But I can't. But seriously, that's this isn't just this is because something has occurred that the bookmakers are aware of. Because usually line movement, this is a readjustment, a 3 point, and I'm not a master gambler here, but Terry, we both know enough, and a lot of the audience does too. Again, a Tuesday to Wednesday 3 point line movement on an 11.5 point spread, 13.5 point spread, is adjusted immediately by the books. That's not a money flow overnight movement. I mean, adjustments are made as more money comes in. This was, all right, something has happened.
Yes.
To have us move the number on our own. So, again, we'll see. But that's two national guys that are saying Lenoris could be good to go. And, I mean, I think you're
good news.
You're ramping up Luke Doty just a little bit more.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, no offense to Luke Doty. I mean, if you're Luke, Luke did some things that you go, wow, that was better than expected. And they did some things, wow, that's why he's a backup quarterback. I mean, but again, you want your guy. But you are going to ramp up Luke Doty just in case. You have to. You got to give Luke Doty more first-team reps, right? You just in case. Because, again, head injuries or shot to the head, that's a situation where, like, right now, it feels like it's trending in a good direction, but you never know till later in the week.
Well, and that's the kind of thing, when you're dealing with something even very, very mild, it can become something. It's like we were saying, you and I were talking yesterday. This could be like when you've tweaked a hamstring, and it's just like, it's not so bad. I can get out there and do it. But then you make that one extra stride somewhere when you're in full, beast mode, and you pull that thing. And what became something mild that you could live with now has you on the shelf for 2 or 3 weeks.
Or like to that point, you start to feel better, right? I'm feeling good. This hamstring, let me take off and go full bore.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
And again, you don't want to see, but Lenoris is going to be tackled.
I don't think Eli Drinkwitz is going to call Shane and say, you know what, dude, we love that guy. We're not going to hit him.
So, again, you want to hope for the very, very best. So we'll see. We'll see.
And here we are talking about using the quarterback more in the run game.
Yeah.
And what happens when you run the ball?
Again, you're going to get hit. You're going to get tackled, and there could be something up that way, or you could land, even if it's not a helmet to helmet like it was the other night, and you land hard.
Point is, you got to have Luke Doty in some form of ready to roll.
Yeah. And you want to make sure that, like, if he is going to play, and this is any athlete that's going through anything, even again around concussion protocol, is trust in yourself, so that you're not out there thinking about that, like, do I lower my head here? And they might even tell, hey, slide.
Oh yeah.
But that's not usually what he does, because
No.
he's a really large man.
Yes, and he runs over and past people.
Yeah, he doesn't
really
mind.
well.
He doesn't mind running into you and through you.
No, because he's typically bigger than you.
Part of what he does. Yes.
Not really worried about
No.
you.
So these are all things. Not trying to be Mr. Debbie Downer here, but I think it's good news.
Yeah.
But like we said, why was there movement overnight like that?
There's a reason.
You could put two and two together.
Yep.
Start bench drop: Bears, Saints, Texans. These are 0-2 NFL teams that you might have some level of belief in to still get something good. Again, I could have put the Chiefs. For those of you just tuning in, I could have put the Chiefs, but I don't think there's a whole lot of doubt in the Chiefs long term. So I put these teams in instead. I got a few hits that I'll get to right now. Let's see. Franklin, start the Texans. Bench the Saints. Drop the Bears. John says start the Texans, but he's going to bench the Bears and drop the Saints. So no faith in Nollins. And Michael also starts the Texans. He will bench the Saints and drop the Bears. So Texans at 0-2, despite the fact that there is a 2-0 Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Who were part of yesterday's start bench drop.
Well,
but still the belief in the Texans.
Well, I think because the Colts were the winners of the "We Don't Believe in You" sweepstakes yesterday.
They were, although I think the Colts are going to be all right, man.
Yeah, we'll see. Long way to go. You like Daniel Jones more than the rest of us.
But I liked him more.
I don't know if his family gave you money.
I liked him more when he was in New York than a lot of people, because I think he's a really good quarterback. He's just in a. I guess, and you know this now, man, and I almost apologize to you. I watch so much football, and I can see sometimes when that's a good quarterback in a bad situation. And sometimes I can see bad quarterbacks in good places, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work out. I mean, I'm a Bronco fan, bro. Broncos usually pretty good, and they have some bad quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
All right.
One of the reasons they haven't been as good as they used to be.
They had some
bad quarterbacks.
Some bad quarterbacks. So I've seen it. And that's Denver's never been a really bad situation. What Daniel Jones was in, what Mac Jones was in up in New England.
That's the one thing about
Sam
Daniel
Darnold
Jones
in Carolina.
Is Sam Darnold with the Jets. I mean, it's just the idea you got to get those guys away from these situations and see how they do when you get them away from there, and see them in a full season when they get away from there. I mean, Daniel Jones has talent. It's just he was a turnover machine. And, there were times he made throws. You go, why the hell are you doing that? But how much of that was the environment he was around? We talked about the...
Because he's running for his life all the time. I don't know where it's going.
Wearing that giant jersey.
Anyway, start bench drop. Bears, Saints, Texans. We'll get to more. You can hit us on Twitter or the Firehouse Subs text line. We got more Gamecocks to get to and a little Jay or Nay. It's the postgame show. Football season is here, means finding the best way to watch the big game. And if you're not at the stadium, the best way is with an amazing home theater system from our good friends at Integrated Media. Nobody better across the Midlands when it comes to home theater. One call, Integrated Media will be out to the house to install the latest in today's technology from Samsung. Maybe you can get one of those really cool frame TVs. You can put it looks like artwork. And people like, hey, I got a Picasso. Just kidding. We're watching the game. You could do that. Couple that with your Dolby Atmos surround system. It's like you're part of the action. Want to go outdoors? Integrated Media installs outdoor home theater with the Samsung Terrace TV and the Sonos outdoor speaker systems built to be outside all year. Yes, even in our climate. Trust me, they look and sound like anything inside does too. One room, whole house, outdoors, Wi-Fi that works everywhere. No better way to watch it than with Integrated Media. 803-948-8327. Integrated Media.
Quick check on the traffic. Accidents, we've got a few of them. 2 Notch Road at Sparkleberry Lane, also Park Street at Lady Street. I-26 eastbound at Harbison at exit 103, a disabled truck is blocking the road there. More accidents, I-20 westbound at US 378 at exit 61. I-20 westbound Fairfield Road, exit 70. Highway 321 at Glen Road, DeQuincy Newman Freeway northbound at Farrow Road, and Columbia Highway at Jake Knott's Bridge.
Eleven minutes in front of 5 o'clock here on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. Headlines of the day coming your way at the top of the hour. Gamecock Notebook with more from Clayton White. Already heard from Mike Shula earlier today. And again, it's making the rumor mill that Lenoris Sellers practiced today. We'll find out more about what his official status is in tonight's availability report. No word from the program, obviously, until then. And even tonight, I don't know, Terry, if I'm doing it and he did practice today, do I go questionable? Wouldn't that be that's probably the best word to use tonight? Questionable?
Yeah, I would think questionable is the way you're going to go. That way you can still play the game. You know the game.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
Play the game.
I mean, you could go probable if you wanted to, but I'd go questionable.
I'd go questionable. I think you want to keep, and I know that we roll our eyes at some of this stuff, but there is a gamesmanship element involved in all this, and you want to keep, even though Eli Drinkwitz said, look, we're going to prepare for their offense.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah, but you still want to, go in the coach's handbook, and the coach's handbook says what? Keep them guessing as long as you can. So yeah, questionable makes sense.
All right, let's do a little.
I gotta get a little music though, man. We gotta get this
okay,
right.
I'm ready.
Thank God we got the fancy music sitting right here. We get to it a lot quicker than we used to, which is really working well right now. I tell you, there we go. There we go, buddy. Okay, let's get ourselves a little music going. All right, Jay or nay? Dabo Sweeney needs a quick throw in his resume in everybody's face when things don't go well for him in the upstate.
Yeah, Jay. I mean, look, tons of respect, and he's done fantastic work. Everybody knows it, and I just think too often, whether he's talking about his program or himself, like, quit acting like, I don't know. He'll pull out that little old Clemson thing a little too often. I'm like, dude, that was a long time ago. Nobody thinks that but y'all or you.
Well, he likes to use it because then
but that's
reasons, yes.
That's a
Chip Sale, man.
Yeah, that one's done. So we get it. Now you look, you got high expectations and you're not matching them. So that's a you thing. It's not a what you used to do thing.
I always like to. Well, I'll just go somewhere else. You guys can send me off. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You don't like winning.
Well, at some point, maybe Graham Neff needs to go. Hey, all right, bud.
What do you say? You don't like winning anymore? Okay.
Yeah, later.
All right, Colorado will turn back to their original starting quarterback, Caden Salter, as their starter this week against Wyoming. Buffs all of a sudden 1-2, 0-1 in the Big 12, and that offense not as explosive now that Shador has left and also Travis Hunter has left.
Yeah.
Are we seeing the first crack in the Deion Sanders head coach armor, Jay or nay?
Well, when you ask it like that, I'm going to say nay. I would hope that Colorado fans understand wherever Shador may have been picked relative to what his draft grade was, you also lost the Heisman Trophy winner. And you don't just replace Heisman Trophy winners. I mean, Oklahoma did for a little bit, and Southern Cal did for a little bit. But by and large,
this is Colorado, not to be mean.
You don't. He needs to go recruiting again. And let's face it, Deion has not been able to recruit this year. Not that, because he's been sick. And we know he's been pretty sick. So, nay, but I didn't have high expectations for them this season anyway.
I think they're favored in one more game.
I think getting to a bowl game this year was going to be a struggle regardless.
I agree. All right, Jay or nay, booing Arch Manning after the third game of the season is low grade at Texas.
Jay, I mean, again, it's so easy to go after the kid. And I know we've said this before. I'll say it again. The kid didn't ask to be born into that family. The kid didn't demand, or his family didn't demand, that recruiting services rate him highly. The kid did choose to go to Texas, but didn't demand that Steve Sarkisian start. Hell, if they'd wanted a demand of starting, he could have left. Maybe he's just not that good. But I don't know, Terry, and this maybe goes back even to my NFL conversation. I just sometimes think that the people most responsible for labeling someone a bust are also the people that are responsible for labeling someone a star. And that's part of what we do in America. We love to build you up to tear you down.
Tear you down, man.
But Arch didn't ask for these labels.
And maybe he's going to just need time to be a good quarterback. Sometimes it takes a little time.
And I was reading something about them today that some of the help around him, like Texas isn't running very effectively. And they don't have the great receivers. And
Lost a lot of talent, man.
Sark can dial up a nice game plan, but sometimes if you don't have the horses to run the race, you're still going to finish last.
Last Jay or nay, some services. John Mateer of Oklahoma, the new Heisman Trophy favorite after 3 games.
If he wins the Septisman, good for him.
I know.
They award it in
I
December.
get a kick out of that stuff.
Yeah. But hey, Septisman.
Hey, do they give an award for that? Do they actually give you a trophy for that?
It's like a little. It's just the guy's arm, just a little.
Not the rest of his body.
Yeah, A lot of folks around these parts don't realize that one of the nation's largest brick manufacturers is based right here in Columbia, South Carolina. It's U.S. Brick, and for nearly 90 years, they've been firing local clay in the Midlands, supplying the backbone for homes, schools, commercial projects locally and all across the country. They've even got some of their brick in Fort Knox in the Empire State Building. It's pretty cool. Today, U.S. Brick is a national player. They've got plants in Alabama, Tennessee, and Indiana as well, but they're still American-owned, family-run, and privately held. Mikey Johnson and his team are fantastic at what they do. They're local. They've been making bricks longer than many builders have been in business, and they're the kind of folks that still pick up the phone. Stop in and see their brand new exterior design center at 300 UG Street down near the ballpark and see what all that U.S. Brick can do for you, your home, your family, and your quality of life. That's U.S. Brick.
It's not really for us.
Quick check on the traffic. We got some stuff going on the roads. Accidents. 2 Notch Road at Sparkleberry Lane, Park Street at Lady Street. Also I-20 westbound at US 378 at exit 61. I-20 westbound Fairfield Road, exit 70. Highway 321 at Glen Road. DeQuincy Newman Freeway northbound at Farrow Road. Columbia Highway near Jake Knott's Bridge. And a disabled truck is halting traffic or making traffic work around at I-26 eastbound at Harbison Boulevard, exit 103. 5 o'clock news sponsored by our Buds Integrated Media is next here on the Postgame Show.
It is 5 o'clock news time. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the postgame show along with Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Thank you so much for being with us. Lots to get to in this final hour. After the headlines, we'll have more from Clayton White. Gamecock coordinators, all 3 of them speaking today. We heard earlier in the program from Mike Shula. We'll let you hear what the Gamecocks DC had to say coming up in a bit. But we'll start with the news, if you will, around Lenora Sellers at this point. This afternoon, one of our good friends, Brad Crawford, national college football analyst for 247 Sports and the CBS Sports Network, tweeted out the following. I was told Lenora Sellers practiced today. At what capacity, I'm not sure, but he's expected to be available for South Carolina's game against Missouri. Also this afternoon, Pete Thamel, who is the national college football reporter for ESPN, tweeted this. There's optimism around the status of South Carolina quarterback Lenora Sellers for the game at Missouri on Saturday, per ESPN sources. He's been in practice, and there are positive signs for his availability. Also overnight, for what it may be worth, and while we can't directly tie the two together, the line on this game went from 13.5 to 10.5. So that's a 3-point swing towards South Carolina, which would lead one to believe that the bookmakers realized, oh, maybe something good has happened in terms of news around Gamecock football. They don't tell you what it is.
Nope. They do not.
But again, if I do.
When the line comes back to your favor?
Yeah, by 3 from a Tuesday night to a Wednesday morning, then somebody knows something about something.
Yep.
So we put all those things together. Tonight, around 8 o'clock, we'll have the first availability report of the week. And, again, Terry and I were kind of joking about it earlier, but I'd probably go with questionable to start.
Yep.
And at least keep Mizzou guessing. That being said, it may not matter a whole lot. Eli Drinkwitz was asked about whether it'll be Lenora Sellers or Luke Doty to go for the Gamecocks. Here's what he said.
It's not really for us. It wasn't created for the coaches. It was created for transparency because of other industries that are tied to college football. And so I would say you'd have to ask those guys. Regarding the quarterback situation, Luke Doty's played a quarterback. Another guy that's played a lot of college football. We've played against him before. I remember recruiting Luke out of Myrtle Beach High School when I was at NC State. Really good player, but I don't think their scheme's going to change any. He's not Lenore's, but he's a very good and capable player. So, for us, there's not two stylistic differences in the way that quarterback position is going to be played. So for us, we're going to anticipate that Lenoris will play, and then we'll adjust if he does not.
Can I say this really quick?
Yeah.
We all beat up Eli because it's fun.
Yeah.
But you know what I like? He actually called them by name.
Yeah.
How many times do we hear this? The quarterback.
Yeah. Or number
the player,
whatever.
Number 16, number this. It was cool to hear a coach actually, for a change, call them by their name. And that's the first thing that hit me with the whole spiel. That, and he's talking about, the reason we're doing all this is for wagering purposes. But
Is that what it is?
I feel like he said, for another entity.
Oh, I thought he'd be like tailgate.
Is that what you thought?
I don't know. You just said another business. Because there's a lot of food around.
I thought the idea was
yours makes more sense.
with wagering. I think for the wagering crowd.
Yeah, yours makes more sense. I should have thought about that.
Because you're a nice man, you think nice
just
things, and I'm a
thinking fried
degenerate, and I think
chicken.
degenerate things. That's all.
yeah.
It just goes to your high quality of character and my low
thank you,
quality
Jim.
of character.
I appreciate that.
That's where you disagree and say, no, Terry, you're of high quality character as well. But then we'll move on.
That's what I should have said.
But so I just like the idea he actually called him by name. I thought that was good.
It was.
But I think to the point.
And that Luke Doty's been in college so long.
I was at NC State when I was recruited. I got in your ear real quick and said, my God, that's how long these guys have been going around. Drinkwitz was at NC State recruiting Luke Doty.
It was like in 2011.
I know.
Let me go back and see. Oh, it wasn't quite that long.
Anyway, so, I mean, again, it makes sense, right? They're both dual-threat guys, and he even said Doty's not Lenoris, but they have a type of skill set that's the same.
Yeah.
So we're just preparing for that offense, which makes total sense. Luke's been around a minute, man.
I was today years old when I learned that the availability report is mostly about gambling.
Yeah.
Man.
You gonna be all right?
I don't know.
Shocking and
I
stunning.
think it's another one of those things that just, punctures a hole in my belief of life.
Punctures a hole in your belief. That was deep, bud. Look at you going all philosophical.
I was all, it's college sports. I didn't know they were doing that to it.
Yeah, you know what, man? When you look at all the zeros, it ain't college sports anymore.
Is there somebody out there going, is he serious?
I know. Does he really feel that way? But yeah, when I heard that Eli in the beginning, I'm like, oh yeah, he's talking about the wagering crowd.
I'll stop. Mike Morgan used to say that about. He's like, you do have at times a sense of humor that's as dry as the Sahara.
And someone will believe you. I've run into that at times where people actually believe you.
I know.
Mm-hmm. I used to do this thing for fun where, like, we're talking about some kind of coaching thing. I said, yeah, I was a head coach for the Lions back in the late 60s, and just like making a joke.
Right, sure.
Till people occasionally would start believing me. I'm like, I got to stop this because people are like believing I'm telling them the
it
truth.
sounds believable sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Shane Beamer has also spoken about Missouri, and here he is, cut number 14, please, sir. This is Shane on what the Gamecocks are anticipating.
Yeah, they mix it up. Missouri wants to control the ball. I mean, if you look at their time of possession, they may be going fast at times, but they control the ball, and they stay on the field on third downs, and they get their butts off the field on defense on third down. But, they're not, I wouldn't say they're not necessarily Ole Miss with fast tempo every single play, but they do mix it in there, and you've got to be ready where they hit a big play and all of a sudden they're going fast and they're putting formation into the boundary and they're throwing shots over your head. We've got to do a great job of being able to get lined up and prepare for that. So it's a little bit different than the style of Vandy, but it's still run the football, control the clock, be physical, and then be able to throw the ball down the field, which they've been able to do also.
Gamecocks and Missouri, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. And again, as it stands right now, Missouri is back to an 11.5-point favorite. That's where the line opened. Don't know how much that'll change, even if you get a positive report on the North.
You still got a guy coming off an injury.
Yeah, I think it could dip under 10 by Friday or Saturday morning if everything is progressing well. But honestly,
I don't think it would fall any farther than 9.5.
I would agree. I doubt that even, but maybe we'll see.
Again, your quarterback got knocked out. You were underwhelming after he got knocked out, especially. And look, what's interesting about it really quick? And I was talking to a couple folks about this topic. Is look, Vanderbilt is not the old Vanderbilt. Our boy Coach Lee said this. He goes, you know what? I'm never going to be able to line up man-to-man and beat you. I got to go get some dudes that can scheme it. I feel like Vanderbilt now is like the Tampa Rays in baseball or the old Princeton offense in basketball. I can't man up and beat you, but now I'm going to scheme you. I'm going to out-scheme you. And with Beck and Jerry Kill, who we don't talk enough about, Jerry Kill, the offensive consultant, they have become a crew. And with what, the head coach does defensively, they become a crew that's saying, okay, we're going to out-scheme you, we're going to outsmart you, we're going to out-this you and that you. This is not the old Vanderbilt. Now, I know whenever you see Vanderbilt win a game, everybody goes like this, you lost to Vanderbilt?
Right.
And I understand part of this fan base can't get over that right now, correct?
Right.
But this isn't the, hey, we can show up half drunk and beat Vanderbilt anymore.
No.
You got to go out there and play at least solidly and not beat yourself. What South Carolina do a lot on Saturday?
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of themselves.
They did. They did.
And so I can see why the line is where it's at.
Yeah, I can too. Because Missouri's a more talented team.
Yes.
So we'll have more from Clayton White, as I said, coming up in the Gamecock Notebook in just a few minutes' time. Meanwhile, stay with Carolina football. At least some progress in the news around Coach Travian Robertson. He released a statement today, and I'll read just a part of it for you. He says here, quote, Katiani, our three boys, and I sincerely appreciate the outpouring of prayers and support we've received from the community in the weeks since my accident. It has been and will continue to be a journey, but I am grateful to God my life was spared. My current focus is on recovery and rehabilitation so I can get back to being the husband, father, and coach I am called to be. He released this statement that had some other details through his law firm, or at least the firm that's representing him. He's had 5 surgeries, y'all. He was in intensive care for 10 days of the 2 weeks that he spent in the hospital, and still has a lot of things to overcome. So exactly when he is going to be able to return to Carolina football on a regular basis, not known, is making progress. Shane has told us that he's zoomed in on a lot of meetings and wants to be back as quickly as possible. But, I mean, Terry, when you have 5 surgeries over a 2-week period.
Yeah, man.
Because you almost died.
Yep.
And sometimes it just changes perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah, you know what? That would, wouldn't it?
So,
absolutely.
But there you go. So a little bit of progress, at least, that things are. And this only I'm trying to think. This happened, the last week of August? He was released from the hospital on September 5th. So, like nearly 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, man. So pulling for you, T-Rob. Good statement there. Atlanta Braves swept a doubleheader against the Nats earlier in the week. They won last night. They are currently at 0-0, top 5. Atlanta has won 4 straight. That's all I got.
Will not lose a game the rest of the year. You heard it here.
No, well, again, I don't know. They probably will. They probably will.
No, they're going to go undefeated the rest of the year.
They probably will. But again, next season, I'm sticking to it. 150-12. I think they are feeling so good about themselves right now. 150-12.
Which means that just means they win 162 of their last 176.
That sounds fine.
74. That's
of course, next year the Braves will go 150-12 and then lose in the wild card round to the Brewers.
Exactly. Get swept.
Or the bleeping Phillies.
Isn't that baseball? You have a year
Braves
like that.
Baseball.
Like right now, the Brewers. I got a buddy of mine texting about the Brewers. It's been a great story, and somebody sent me a really cool video of the manager Murphy in the clubhouse reading a note from Bob Uecker, and it was awesome. Then it says, "Who do you think of the Brewers?" I go, "Oh, they'll get beat in the first round probably because they're just not built for the postseason.
Yeah,
they're
not.
a team that's built for the regular season."
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Your regular season goes so good, right? Then you get to that best of series and you get beat, and you go like this. Well, that sucked. The whole thing just got ruined.
Not
baseball, man.
Not fun.
No.
And finally, Bethpage Black, which next week will be hosting the Ryder Cup, was told today that they will also get the PGA Championship in 2033. The PGA of America also today said that Oak Hill up in Rochester will get the PGA Championship in 2035.
Now, is that the place that makes the thing that you never made for myself and Coach?
No comment.
What was it? Not a hot brown. What was that thing called? Hot mess or whatever the hell it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah, you promised. We just gave up trying.
Well, just because you haven't gotten it yet doesn't mean I've broken my promise.
Now you and I are hooked back up together. I got to get this thing done, man.
There was no timetable.
Oh, you suck. There was no time.
I said I would do it, and I will. I really do want to do that. But yes, Rochester.
Oh,
And,
so-
and Oak Hill is, they had it up there a couple years.
Thing sounds good.
Yeah, or gross, depending on your point
I
of
think
view.
it's going to be good.
Yeah, I do too.
And we got to tell Coach you actually said you're going to make it at some point before we all croak off the earth.
Yeah.
Is that the timetable?
Maybe
before we all
we'll do
croak
it.
off the earth?
You know what? If we do it right, we'll do it and we'll take it to Pro Swing and we'll have a show at Pro Swing.
And give a big hot mess?
Yeah.
See, I like your thinking there.
Thanks.
You still suck, but I like your
I know.
thinking there.
But again, self-aware. I have not delivered on that, and that is on me. That is on me. And if you don't know what the Rochester
Look it up.
look it up.
It's- Yeah.
Yeah, and every
That was the
restaurant in
thing that
Rochester
week.
has one.
Remember that Coach was in and we were going around about that thing
Yeah.
that week. Yep.
Yeah, every restaurant has one.
Mhm.
And they're all a little bit different, but it does sound really good. But you got to look it up because it takes too long to explain.
Yeah.
All right, that's our integrated media headlines of the day. 803-948-8327 for all your home theater needs and so much more. Call Integrated Media. Gamecock Notebook on the other side. The latest from Clayton White ahead of Missouri. It's the postgame show. AAA Heating and Air, great people to work with. Trust me on this one. Been doing it for years. Roy and Dana Finley are awesome. So is their team. Great people that they have working for them. Whether you need a quick repair, maybe here now in this little lull of the weather, right, where we don't have a whole lot of hot days. We got a few left. Don't worry, it's the South. But soon enough, it'll be nice. But then you might need to turn on the furnace or the heat pump. And you're like, uh-oh, have I had this thing looked at in a while? Am I sure it's going to be working for me? 803-677-1500. They'll come in and inspect it for you and make sure everything's good to go. Maybe it's time for a brand new system, guaranteed financing, 15-year parts and labor guarantee, and no payments or interest for a full year. So if you want something new or you need a quick repair, 803-677-1500. Do what I've done. Many of your friends and neighbors work with the great people at AAA Heating and Air. Welcome back in. Time for the Gamecock Notebook here on this Wednesday. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford. Also got Start Bench Drop today for those of you who want to play along. Today, it's 0-2 teams that you still feel good about. Yesterday, it was 2-0 teams that you're not so sure about. So we kind of flipped the script today. Bears, Saints, Texans. And yes, the Chiefs are 0-2. But everybody would start the Chiefs. So I didn't include the
Which was a smart move by you.
Yeah.
I think I've got mine. You got yours yet? I think I got mine.
Yeah, I think I do.
We'll get to it in a little bit, but I got mine.
I think I do. But yeah, so Start Bench Drop, Bears, Saints, Texans. 0-2 teams that still have a chance to maybe do something good. We'll see. In the meantime, does this need setup? I guess it doesn't.
No, Clayton just does his opening statement
All right.
and starts riffing.
So we're going to give you a few minutes of what Clayton White had to say ahead of Missouri.
They do a great job of finishing football games, and excited to go down there.
Clayton, when you do have a week that was kind of rough, how do you talk to your kids about it? Is it harping on it, just saying it was one bad day, or do you have to emphasize something over another as opposed to a regular day?
Well, it wasn't a bad week. It was more just a bad day. We had a great week of practice. Our guys always work extremely hard. You know, they were really upset. That's the first time we've given up 30-some points in a long time, and we just want to keep grinding. It's one of those things where we just want to just take every day and be very consistent and pick up the intensity in every little thing that we do as a coaching staff and as a group. At the linebacker room, ourselves up front in the DB room, just want to keep harping on consistency, being physical when we can at practice, playing together, more importantly, and just keep up, just get back on track.
Last year, they had a lot of success, Missouri's offense, on a lot of those outside zone stretch plays.
Yep.
This year, they bring in a running back who is putting up some video game numbers. What's kind of the challenge of having to play against a run game that is the way they've had it the last few years, and then adding that guy to the mix?
Yes, they've done a really good job of adding pieces to that puzzle. Truly believe that that offense is hard to defend, mainly because of the practice, trying to get the reps during the week. So our offensive is doing a really good job of replicating those plays. That's the only way to really have a chance to go out there and really contain those kind of numbers, like you said. But most importantly, we have to practice right and then kind of start really in January, kind of just emphasizing that different style of offense.
Clayton, a lot of missed tackles on Saturday. What did you kind of see on the tape as to why that might have been, and how do you go about correcting that this week?
Definitely some missed tackles. That was our highest number of the year in regards of just not getting guys on the ground when we had opportunities. I think our angles were bad. I think that we were not pressing the near hip enough. I do believe that it's something we emphasize a lot. You have to just carry those things over to the game. It's our job as coaches to put them in those positions throughout the week to replicate that, that skill set and do a great job of just finishing and understanding. Obviously, we can't tackle at practice, but you have to take the right angles at practice, have the right mindset, and just know that when it comes on Saturday, you have to, get it done the best of your ability.
With those third downs, they're converting in the first half,
Yep.
and I guess some in the second half as well. It seemed like there were just kind of different ways that they were able to pick them up. Is that how you saw it, and how frustrating can it be if you did see it that way, when it's just like, hey, it's one thing here, one thing there, and maybe not necessarily?
Yeah, it's frustrating as a defensive coach whenever we feel like it's hard to get the third down. Like, it's just hard to get a good third down and manageable situation for us. And then I think a couple of times that we were there and we missed a tackle, and that's frustrating, and it happens, continuous on drives. Like, it's like a stat that's out there. Once they convert one third down within a series, the chance of scoring goes up. So I think they converted 3 on one drive, which was 2 of those that we feel like we got to finish those plays. And I feel like they got to give them credit as well. But I think you got to give them credit. They did a really good job of finding different ways to convert third down. They weren't running the same, concept.
That's Clayton White. We'll have more on what he had to say tomorrow on the program. If you want to listen to these, by the way, in their entirety, the Gamecocks have a YouTube channel that you can go to and find all that.
Yep.
So there you go. But for those who haven't heard what we said, whether it's been Shane yesterday, Mike Shula or that we played earlier, or Clayton just now, and we talked with Jordan Kay from the State Paper, who was at all these press conferences too. Terry, it's just the refrain, the common theme. These are on us. This is not a football team that is overmatched. This is not a football team that is doesn't have talent. We're beating ourselves, and now look, that doesn't make it any better. And I told you and I joked earlier, we're not here to say so. Hey, therefore, no, because you still got to fix that stuff.
Because that's a thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't fix it, it starts to snowball, and it's a thing you can't correct at some point.
You hear so often in any sport, at any level, coaches will say, we got to control the controllables and all that. Well, then control them, because you do have control over most of these things. And some of them, again, missed assignments, procedural penalties. And this goes back to, again, we talk a lot about it. Boaz Stanley and Case and Henry last week on a variety of topics, just saying we got to practice better. Why aren't they? And that's where Shane comes in on, we got to do it better as coaches. I don't know what I don't know. I'm not there. We're not allowed there.
Right.
But if that's the problem, then that's fixable. Fix it.
And then you get frustration when you get coaches will say, hey, we had a really good week of practice. I don't know what happened.
Right. And Shane said that.
And look, that happens. A lot of times you practice great during the week, and then you go out on game day, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't translate. And we were talking about this Monday. Sometimes you can watch film till your eyeballs fall out, and you can go on the practice field, and you can run the stuff that they're going to run, and it's all well and good. But until you actually get out there, turn the lights on, and kick it off for real, then sometimes you know it's coming, but you can't stop yourself from falling for it, right? Or you get over aggressive and you run up and you as a linebacker, you take the wrong gap, or you get the wrong responsibility, or you're not holding an edge, or whatever it is, or in coverage. Like, I mean, oh my God, they hit a 3rd and 24 on Jalen Kilgore. And Kilgore just didn't get around on it to make the play, but it wasn't like he was beat by 5 steps. He just didn't get around to make a play, and by the time he got around to make a play, Stowers is catching the ball and doing the first down sign. So it's all these things you can fix, but to your point, well, time's running out to fix them.
Yeah,
because you gotta look at your schedule.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Lenoris a couple of weeks ago said, we had such a good camp, so we've heard this refrain again. I'll use that word a lot, and it is fair, I think, to question what isn't happening.
What doesn't translate from the practice field? If it's a good week of practice, what happens when you get in there for real?
Yeah. I mean, these guys, look, the vast majority of them anyway, they're used to the environment. It's not that. Yeah, and you hype up this environment. This is what you want. Right. So I can't. It's a head scratcher. And again, if you're just tuning in, let me reiterate that 2 national college football reporters, including our buddy Brad Crawford, have put out today that Lenoris Sellers did practice. Now, the team has not confirmed this. And it was funny because Mike Shula was asked about that and said, I think Coach Beamer has the answers to all those questions.
That was so good.
Who's practicing and who's not.
That was a good way to move it.
He did well. That was a good. He was ready for it. But the next availability report, the first one of the week actually, will be out tonight around 8:00. So stay tuned to your favorite Twitter feeds and see who says what about that one, or just go to secsports.com and they'll have it a little bit after 8 Eastern time. And we'll see. But, again, Pete Thamel and Brad Crawford, Pete of ESPN, Brad, 24/7 Sports, CBS Sports Network, both saying he was at practice. So what that means, we don't know yet. But that's a thing.
But at least he was there, and that's the hopeful part of it.
Because Shane said if you don't practice on Tuesday or Wednesday,
guess what?
You don't play.
Right.
So just get him out there. Now, if all he did was throw the ball a couple of times.
Right.
Hey, what'd you practice today? Throwing.
Yeah. To who? Myself. Just threw it up in the air and caught it. Just threw it up in the air and caught it.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, that's our Gamecock Notebook for this Tuesday, or Wednesday, Wednesday. Sorry about that. We'll come back with a drive around the SEC. Interesting story down in Gainesville that we'll tell you about. You're listening to the Postgame Show.
Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Look, whenever you have stuff going on, you don't want to be treated like a number. You don't want to be treated like you're just another person in line. You want to be treated for what's going on as it pertains to you. Specialized treatment. And that's what they give you at the Men's Clinic. If you come in and tell them about your issues, and they think it could be low testosterone, and they'll do lab work, and if it comes back low T, they will put you on a program specifically designed for you to get you to feeling back like you again. Whether it's lack of sleep, lack of life drive, sex drive, professional drive, personal drive, don't feel strong at the gym, don't recover from exercise, can't remember where you leave anything anymore. Any of that stuff just could be low testosterone. Again, make the call, 803-875-MENS. Get personalized service from the Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Again, 803-875-MENS. Make the call, Men's Clinic of South Carolina. All right. I-77 northbound at Garners Ferry Road, exit 9. There's an accident. Right lane is blocked. Other accidents. DeQuincy Newman Freeway northbound to Farrow Road. 3 on I-20. 1 eastbound at US 1, exit 58. 2 westbound, though. 1 Fairfield Road, exit 70. The other US 378, exit 61. In Lexington, North Lake Drive at East Main Street. Back in Columbia, Nursery Road at Nursery Hill Road, Park Street at Lady Street, and Two Notch at Sparkleberry Lane. We'll come back. SEC Notebook is next on the postgame show.
It is Drive Around the SEC time on this Wednesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. We'll start down in Gainesville, where Florida running backs coach and associate head coach, at least by title, Jabbar Jaluke, was suspended 3 games for his role in that skirmish before the LSU game.
There's no video on this thing, but he must have He must have put hands
There's
upon
video of
someone or
the
something.
scrum.
But not him in general.
Yeah,
I don't know what he actually did, but obviously he's apologizing. Napier, everybody's saying this is not the way we represent the university. I don't know what he did.
Well, here's first off from Greg Sankey. Jabbar Jaluki's conduct during the pregame altercation reflects behavior that is unacceptable and not aligned with the standards of the Southeastern Conference. Coaches are expected to be leaders and to de-escalate tense situations, and that did not happen in this circumstance. This suspension is appropriate, and any future misconduct by Jabbar Jaluki will result in more severe disciplinary action.
Okay, so if
That's from the commissioner.
If you didn't de-escalate, that meant you did what? Escalated.
Well, so here's the coach's statement. Again, Jabbar Jaluki, quote, "There's no excuse for my behavior, and I take full responsibility for my actions. In this game, emotional situations occur and bad reactions happen. I regret my reaction and commit to using this moment to strengthen my emotional intelligence. I know more is expected of us as coaches, and I commit to living up to that expectation. I believe growth is in ownership and learning from the good and the bad, and I intend to use this situation as a teachable moment, not only for myself, but for those I impact. Again, I offer my sincerest apologies to both institutions and the staffs and families involved." There was one other where apparently he also apologized to an individual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he... I don't know. I want to be really, really, really careful here because he's been suspended. By the way, Billy Napier's made a statement. Scott Strickland's made a statement, the AD at Florida.
It's all consistent.
It is. I can only imagine, Terry, because you're right, there isn't clear video of Coach Jaluki individually or specifically, but that I doubt he punched anybody or something, but maybe he pushed or laid a hand or just did something physical.
Yes.
That you just can't, you can't do that.
That's what it feels like.
Again, I don't know, and so I want to be really, really careful. But it's a 3-game suspension.
Right. Or that's why it feels like it's something more than he just yelled dirty words at somebody.
I can again, looking at the level of suspension and the language used by the commissioner and by the school and his own admission of I shouldn't have done. I got to think he laid hands upon someone. Again, maybe not. I don't know though. So I want to be super careful, but we speculate at times, and that's part of it.
And he has no history of being a hothead or anything else. So let's just throw out a scenario. And again, it doesn't make him right or wrong. Just let's throw out a scenario. You got these guys jawing back and forth. Somebody could have said something that sparked him, or could have done something that sparked him, to where he reacted in a way that is unacceptable because you're the associate head coach. That's part of being in that gig, man.
Yeah.
A player from the other team or somebody from the other team says something. And I know there's some things in life that you shouldn't say to someone.
Right.
But you got to find a way to catch yourself before you jump, because you're in a position where who pays the price?
Right. And it could be, you're right, a 3-game suspension with that, especially from the conference, from the commissioner, that kind of language doesn't sound like, just something you bleep out of audio.
No, I think the key word that I think it was Sankey said he did not de-escalate, and that's your job. So whatever happened, he got caught up, I'm guessing, and like we're saying, speculation, he did something,
right?
But I feel like it wasn't him who started something. He came into it or came over, and things just, whatever his reaction to whatever was going on was not what you need from an associate head coach.
There's clearly enough here, evidence-wise, for the conference and the school and the coach himself to all be on board with this. So whatever video does or doesn't exist, I suppose there's enough witness statements, if you will, for lack of a better term, to corroborate and justify this.
And here's the other part: you're accepting it, and I think you make a good point. If you are the assistant coach, and you're accepting this suspension, and you are putting the statement out you have to put out, it's almost like, look, dude, you're getting 3 games. It's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
And he's probably going, you know what? 3 games is fair, whatever. And so everybody seems to be on board with what went on here. You can't have go on.
Yeah. So, should more come out, I suppose someone down in Gainesville is doing some digging on this, or somebody in Baton Rouge will find other video of it.
Somebody will find a video. It's always out there, Jay.
Yeah. So
somewhere.
We'll see. There you go. Only one other conference game this weekend. Obviously, the Gamecocks have one. Auburn is at Oklahoma. As it stands, Terry Ford, Sooners -6.5. More intrigued by that one?
Yep.
Or Florida's game at Miami, which is currently Hurricanes -7.5.
The intriguing part of that is if Florida loses another one, that's 3 straight, and how do you lose that game? And then does the temperature get turned up even more? The flip
now I'm going to be a
side-
smartass, and then the associate head coach, who probably would become the interim coach,
He's out for 3
can't.
games.
So,
They'll call Spurrier. Hey, ball coach, can you come hang out with us for a few weeks?
No, Jared and I are at the beach.
We just can't do that. But the interesting part of the Oklahoma-Auburn game, I think that's juicy because you got 2 teams who are trying to angle themselves into being real factors as the year goes along.
Yep.
Guess who's playing his former team on Saturday that starts a quarterback for Auburn?
Oh, that's right, Jackson Arnold. Yeah, okay. I didn't. You know what? I've not even thought about that angle.
Yeah, a little angle on that one.
Yeah, boy, he was so highly recruited.
And you know what? The fact he left, usually when a guy with that kind of, hype comes in, remember, he started, got benched, and started the rest of the year after that, Jay, and then took off. Now, he'd take off. I don't want any parts of this. I like the year, my 2 years, I no thank you. Or the Venables already have this Mateer Arbuckle thing in the works, and Arnold knew that he had to peace out. Because that's a package deal.
I don't know.
That's not a 2-minute phone call,
No,
Jay.
it's not. It's not. I don't know if there was a specific, we got this, and we could. But I certainly believe it was you're best off finding somewhere else to go play.
Loved having you around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I doubt that anybody sat him down and said, well, we got this kid from Pullman coming in. Because then you're going back to somebody going, bro, they told me exactly who was coming in.
Right. Because
and then if you got an axe to grind, you can just turn them in for tampering.
Well, here's my thing. I think
tampering is illegal.
And no one ever tampers. Nope. Especially your favorite team. They never tamper.
Yeah,
Here's the thing about it.
Everybody else does it.
Oh, sure.
But
not your favorite
team. Your
team.
team never.
They don't do anything wrong. They're the above board for everything.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're Venables, though, let's just play this role. You know that your butt is about to get very hot after what just happened. And I mean hot seat. I don't mean his butt's hot. So he's got a hot seat. He knows that's coming. No offense to Jackson Arnold. Are you going to put your eggs in that basket to save your job for the next year, or are you going to go look to try to get someone who is more experienced, more seasoned, has a better resume? Because, again, seat warm.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, and they seemingly for now have made the right decision. I don't know. There's a lot of people who like Auburn in this game.
I know.
Don't count me as one of them.
I don't know if I want to go that way either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Everybody said, well, Auburn's, quarterback play / good offense away from being a factor. I'm not ready to buy in yet. Who's Auburn? I mean, again, top of my head, maybe I'm missing something. Who's Auburn beaten so far?
Well, that Baylor win is a nice win.
Yeah, but Reddy, it's a
nice. That's a good.
It's
win.
not a win where I go, wow.
No,
it's a nice win, but
it's a good. It's a good win.
Yeah,
with still some levels above good that we could use.
Yes, that's my point. And do you value that win over the win over Michigan by Oklahoma and Norman?
No, I think Michigan is more talented than Baylor.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
I like Oklahoma in this one.
I do too.
Yeah. And I like Miami, obviously, with the way they played last week, especially. 2 other intriguing games. Arkansas is going across the river to Memphis.
That is intriguing.
That's an interesting one. And then Tulane is heading up to Oxford.
That's not a gimme.
Yeah, so otherwise there's not a whole lot of good this week in the SEC. That's the drive around the SEC. We'll give you our start bench drop. Got a few others in on Twitter, and we'll do a little Jay versus the internet coming back.
Check on the traffic on your ride home. Lots of issues going on right now. We'll start off with check on traffic for your ride home. An accident, 77 northbound at Garner's Ferry Road. Right lane is blocked right now. Couple of accidents on I-20, one eastbound, one westbound. I-20 eastbound at US 1 exit 58. Westbound at Fairfield Road, exit 70. Also an accident, Lexington, North Lake Drive at East Main Street. Check on the traffic. A few accidents on the roadway. A couple on I-20, one eastbound at US 1 exit 58. The other westbound at Fairfield Road, exit 70. Also, Two Notch Road at Sparkleberry Lane, Nursery Road at Nursery Hill Road, North Lake Drive in Lexington near East Main Street as well.
Welcome back in. Final few minutes of the post-game show on this Wednesday. Jay and Terry with you. Tomorrow, we'll be on the show together, but split duty. Terry has decided to go sit on the back porch at Old Mill Brew Pub.
Yeah, things I do.
And have one of those amazing BLTs and a beer.
That's the sacrifices I make for the good of the cause.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Good for you.
I don't want you to go out of your 5 miles of life, so I'm trying to help you out.
Well, like I said, I just realized that across the river, that's a whole other county. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can't go there.
How long have I lived here?
I know. Well, because you never leave this county.
I never do. I don't leave the city. No, I go to Forest Acres sometimes, which technically is its own city.
Yeah.
Never have really understood that one. Love all you folks in Forest Acres. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. No, it's good. No, tomorrow we'll be doing that. And then tomorrow night, Carolina calls. So there you go. And tomorrow, again, Terry starts giving away his hard-earned money.
Yes, I'm going to break up. I'll just Venmo you if you win. What the hell?
It's good. At least you know what Venmo is. That's good.
Yeah, well, I
don't have it. My wife and daughters use it with each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have another service through my bank. I intentionally have not gotten Venmo.
Dude, it's fire.
Well, in GL. And now that I realize that Venmo wants to be part social media, I can assure you I shan't become a customer.
I told you, my daughter needed $50 yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
And so I decided to Venmo it to her, and because you have these goofy reasons you have to put it on there. And I put in to bail my daughter out of jail.
Nice.
Why not?
No, you should.
That's right.
Like I told you, if we had that when I was younger, when you were younger, the things I would have said.
Awful things we
if I had owed a buddy money or something for whatever reason, it would not have been the legitimate reasons. I can easily assure you. All right, start, bench, drop. Got a couple more to get to here on Twitter. Let's see. Again, Smartless Wanderer, who also hit us yesterday. Start the Texans. Bench the Saints, cut the Bears. By the way, Bears, Saints, Texans are your choices. 0-2 teams that you still have some belief in. All right? Start Texans, bench Saints, cut Bears. And Ashok says start the Saints. Interesting. Bench the Texans and cut the Bears.
Wow. Is that the first start the Saints we've got?
I think it is. I think it is. I'm going back and forth on this. I'm going to start the Texans.
I will start the Texans as well. They've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. They have talent out of these three teams.
They have a history, and like I say, it's not a great one, but they're in a bad division. Now, again, in their division right now, the Colts are 2-0. I will bench the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, look at you.
I like what Rattler's doing. I know they want to, maybe now, and I joke a little bit here, this whole tank for Arch thing isn't what it once was. Not that it ever should have been. And I'm gonna drop the Bears, man. The Bears got beat the other day, and
the Lions just scored again.
And Ben Johnson's like, we don't practice well. We don't have enough. And I'm like, bro, they should have hired Jim Harbaugh, Terry.
Look,
they should. Nothing against Ben.
Beating the drum of Jim Harbaugh.
They should have hired Jim Harbaugh.
If you want to win, you hire Jim Harbaugh.
They should have hired Jim Harbaugh.
And you can put up with his goofiness and his khakis and his weirdness. Who cares?
Great coach. And he was a Bear for a bit.
He was a Bear.
You should have hired Jim Harbaugh. All right,
let's disagree. I will say this: I'd start the Texans. I would bench the Bears. I will drop the Saints. I think the Saints are on a march to have the worst record in the NFL.
Yeah,
and that roster, dude, is not good.
Could be.
It's not good. And they're probably secretly looking at Rattler going, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Right. Don't be good.
Bud, stop that playing well thing.
Yeah. Don't complete the passes.
Exactly. Not to our team. What's wrong with you?
Don't avoid the defender.
Take the sack, friend.
Yeah. All right, what do we got?
All right, here we go. It's all because you like the Phillies so much. Oh. All three on Jay versus the Internet revolve around the Phillies and the Dodgers tonight, sir. First of all, will the Phillies
Dodgers,
sweep
Dodgers,
the
Dodgers. J. Oh, wait, wrong game.
Will the Phillies complete the sweep tonight over the Dodgers?
No.
Total base challenge.
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber.
Let me see the pitching matchup real quick.
I'll tell you that. Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies, Blake Snell for the Dodgers. Blake Snell, a 1.44 home ERA.
Shohei.
And finally, speaking of Blake Snell, that ERA under $1.50 at home, but he's averaging only 5 innings pitched per start at home. Over under on Blake Snell, 5 1/3 innings pitched tonight versus the Phillies.
Let's go over.
All right, look at you.
Yeah, maybe he goes 6.
5 2/3.
Dave Roberts likes his bullpen, man.
Well, how about Shohei, 5 hitless innings last night? I mean, I know he's on a pitch count and all that stuff, but man.
You know, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. How's that?
You going there? A repeat?
Well, I don't want anybody else in the National League to win it, so I may as well do that. The Braves can't.
No.
So
you're not going to go. You're not going to root.
Did you hear that the shot, his home run the other night? Did you hear just the like isolated?
Ridiculous.
Man, it just sounds
it's ridiculous. Sounds dangerous off the bat.
See y'all tomorrow.